back once again after completely having to refresh my computer. Did you know if you open up 1,001 tabs that your computer does not appreciate it and it decides to freeze up? Today you learn. I'm once again brought to you by the co-host with the shits, Enzo.
Man, I am so with the shits. How are you doing, everybody?
And special guest coming in from a recommendation from Actor Pat, actually. So if you enjoyed Actor Pat, just know, same circle, which is a great group of people, by the way. Just want to quickly say that. Great group of people. We have ForeverHelix. How's it going, Helix?
What's going on? What's up, homies? What's up, everybody?
All right, so your Twitch about, because I always read about, it's like there's a small thing at the top that you put. Yours was very amusing to me. I had it open before, but unfortunately with the PC shutting off, I do not currently have it. Oh boy, all the tabs just reopen when I reopen Firefox, so be prepared.
Oh geez.
For the worst. I'm gonna,
not again.
Yeah, we're gonna quickly close most of these tabs.
It's a race against time.
Yeah, it is a race against time as it loads it all, and it's like, oh, why do you hurt me so much?
Okay. Do you want me to read my bio for you?
Yes, go ahead.
Will that help? Okay. Oh god. All right, let me pull it up.
You got this.
What's happening, homies? My name is ForeverHelix, a professional Fall Guys player with two victory. Not victories, victory.
Yes.
I'm a Kingdom Hearts / variety streamer from New York whose motto is try anything once, come hang out.
I really enjoyed that bio, personally. When I read it, I'm like, you know what? When I announce who the guest is, I just want to quote that and just be like, there you go. This is who it is. This is what they're about. This is clearly everything you need to know going in.
So let me explain, right? This is a case of one of those things where you have a joke with people and then someone else like brings it up and you're like, oh god, I have to explain my humor now.
Yes.
Okay, so when Fall Guys like came out and started getting big and I won twice, I was like, see, I'm a professional player now. So they're like, hey, you got to put that in your Twitch bio and show that you're professional. So of course that's what I did as an inside joke, and then I was like, oh, I never changed that. So so here we are.
Here we are once again.
Getting called out.
Hey, it's a positive call out at the very least. So at least it's not like bad.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine to have it. Also, we have drowning coffee in the chat, which if you had the drowning coffee, what kind of coffee would you want to drown in?
Pumpkin spice. Next question.
Pumpkin spice. I don't drink a lot of coffee. Apparently, they only have one win. Wow. So what we're saying is Helix is actually flexing his 2 wins on everybody.
Well. Let me actually pull up Twitch chat as well.
Yes. Opening up Twitch chat would be a smart move. See, I don't have to have it open in Firefox because I have it open with OBS, but, you know, espresso, we say, could be the coffee. I don't drink a lot of coffee. I drink a lot of Dr. Pepper, which I acknowledge is not a healthy drink for me, but, you know, it's my current drink of choice. I don't think I'd want to drown in it, though. Sounds very sticky.
Dude, could you imagine, like, falling in a big vat of Dr. Pepper and just, like, it would be the most delicious death that you could have, but, like...
True.
But also just be bad.
True. You know, I've never actually experienced, like, isn't soda supposed to make your eyes burn? Or is that just something I heard as a kid that's not actually true?
I've never had the pleasure of having soda thrown in my eyes.
Hey Helix, what's up? Soda in the eyes.
But I would imagine it would, just from the carbonation. Yeah.
Maybe
I've had it go through my nose and it burns like a motherfucker when it goes to your nose, so I can't imagine it's good for your eyes. So
yeah, there you go.
Don't worry, I'm sure it's perfectly healthy. Yeah, I'm sure it's 100% healthy.
It's already not healthy for your insides. I don't think it'll work for your eyes either.
Hey, name me 5 ways in which it's unhealthy for me.
Sugar is one.
Sugar and spice, you know, it just makes everything right.
You know,
Fair.
I just thought about it, Wes. Since Dr. Pepper makes you 23% better, if you throw it in your eyes, you should have 23% better eyesight.
This is true. Maybe I should just, for now on, just splash it in my eyes before I do anything.
Yeah, just in the morning when you wake up, just a little bit of the pepper.
You know, I actually think I think part of the issue was, in fact, with Discord itself. And that's why it froze. Because you notice, when I turned on screen share, I don't know if y'all seen it, but on my screen, everything froze for a moment. I think it's hardware acceleration with Discord, because it is turned on. I think that fixes the issue completely.
All right.
Unfortunately, if I do that, I have to restart Discord, so I would be away for a moment. So these are the options. Do I want to do it now and hopefully avoid further issues, or hope that not opening a ton of tabs is actually the solution?
Dun dun. It's like deal or no deal. I guess like really like
deal or no deal.
Yeah, the likes go down, and
I also really enjoy the 23 filters for your eyes. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta pour it on your eyes and get 23 different filters.
Or 23 eyes, one of them.
Ooh, 23 eyes. That sounds like that's the thing to have. 100%. Alright. I think this is going to be a quick refresh, so I'm going to just do it. So I will be right back for you guys.
Alright.
Very quick. Alright, so I'm still here. Discord is actively refreshing right now. Discord is, as you can see, it almost opened there. It takes a moment. Yeah, it's coming back. I don't actually see it, but I'm here. Yeah, I'm actively, like, kind of here. You know, very, very short away time. Apparently, I may have to refix this, though. Kinda. Not really. Nah, it's mostly cool, you know, to hopefully avoid issues. Let's see. Let's test that theory. Sometimes you come up with a solution live, and you just gotta test it. Alright, so that's not what I want.
That's showbiz, baby.
Exactly. That's the glory of streaming live. It did not freeze for me this time.
All right.
So I think that was definitely... I think that's what actually hurt me last time, was that. I think it pushed too far. Alright. I think I turned it on to try and fix an issue we had a long time ago, which hopefully does not come back with me doing that. That'll be an interesting thing to note. Because beforehand, we had an issue where if we full screened a video, the stream, it'd just break on the stream. But I went to Firefox and it seemingly fixed it, and I thought that was the solution. I guess we'll see if that actually was the solution or not. It'll be a thing to remember.
Okay.
So, break everything. Exactly. Sometimes if you just gotta break everything, you know, as it goes. So, Helix. How long have you been streaming for?
Well, I would say in total, it's been probably a year-ish since my first streams. I started back before Kingdom Hearts came out, so that was what, January 2019.
Yeah.
So we'll say like November 2018 is when I did all of the games, then took a really long break, and then, as with a lot of people, got back into it in March, more consistently. I think I hit affiliate back in April, and I've been going ever since.
Heck yeah. I really enjoy seeing Twitch, and you know, I feel like, and it's something we discussed beforehand, I really enjoy Twitch, and I need to watch more small creators, because like I generally watch like past broadcasts of Kit Boga. I don't know if you know who Kit Boga is, but I find it to be a positive stream to, like, when I'm in downtime, I can just play it and I can just relax for a bit.
Right.
But at the same time, you know, you could be watching similar positive streamers that are live. That's the thing to think about. You know?
Yeah,
It's all about the options. You got to choose to go with better options.
definitely.
Also, I have a fucking bump on my hand that I just noticed.
Uh-huh.
Nice. These are the random things we've noticed here.
All right.
Yeah. I have no idea. It's actually a blister. So that's good.
Now you have me like, should I check for something? I don't know.
I did actually. I looked down at my hands. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Like, am I good?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
fuck.
Can I just randomly have like, maybe I've had this on the side of my arm or side of hand since I've been awake. Didn't notice it until now. So there you go.
Does this mean I'm gonna die now?
I hope not. Don't worry. The Dr. Pepper will get rid of it 23% faster. We already established this.
Or I can make it 23% bigger. One of them. We'll see.
Ooh, that's the thing. Either way, it's going to be a 23% increase or decrease in something. Either way.
Positive or negative. One of them.
So I say we just kick it off immediately with a debate topic. I always enjoy the debates. I think it's a good way to kick it off. So we have coming in, this person is, I am Asian, hear me roar. And they said, fall is the worst season. All over social media, people are just fawning over how fall is finally here. To me, it's the worst season out of them all. For one, it's the signal that school is about to begin. I work at a school, so this point is probably biased, but who wants to go back to school? Number two, it seems to last forever and is continuously hot. Where I live, fall temperatures stay around 80 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. What cool temperature are you talking about? Number three, speaking of temperatures, you have to change your wardrobe throughout the day. Morning, cool. I have to wear a jacket and sometimes long sleeves. Afternoon, blazing hot. I feel like my insides are boiling and I'm a well-done steak. Alright, so they want to be a well-done steak, apparently. That's good. Number four, it gets darker earlier. It's 4 p.m. and the sun's already low. There is no more daylight, only Zool. I don't know what that is.
Neither do I.
Fair.
Never heard that.
Number five, it's the signal that everything is dying. Oh, look, the trees are pretty and changing colors. It's because they're going dormant. The grass is brown, dead leaves everywhere. Awesome. I don't get it. Fall is the worst. So, this person says fall is the worst season. How do we feel about that? I think we should tackle this as, what is the best season?
Winter.
Okay. Winter.
Why winter?
Because it's cold, it snows. Let's be honest here, like, you can enjoy your hot drinks a whole lot better. And like hot drinks are lit, like coffee, hot cocoa, especially hot cocoa. And you get like, it has like all the really cool holidays in it. You know, you got your Christmas time in it. And I know Halloween's like technically, I put Halloween in kind of like in the middle of them because like it happens like kind of smack dab in the middle of both. So like,
True.
so you know, you got your festivities going on, and you got the stores are all kinds of festive, and they put out special items and stuff. There's special foods and candies you can't get the rest of the time of the year. People generally seem happier. You know, you have time work off, more money. All the good things happen during wintertime, and just the cold lets you sleep better. It's just all around the best. You can't get no better than winter. Fuck the rest of them.
You know what they say? It's the most wonderful time of the year.
There you go.
So winter's the best season. So we definitely know that fall is not the best season. Okay.
Fall gets second place, but
ooh. Yeah, I feel like if I had to name a worse season, like maybe summer for me. Like the complete opposite of winter.
I can't stand summer.
It's too hot.
For me, springtime's the worst.
What about spring makes it the worst?
That's when all the trees and shit like that starts blooming,
Ooh.
and my allergies literally go from 0 to 1,000,000 like
that's
instantly.
A fair point.
And it's the worst thing ever because everybody's shit like starts rocking really bad, and you got to bust out all kinds of medicine. You have to start going to the doctor and all this other shit, and like it just, nah, I'm good. I could do without spring. Just skip right to summertime.
I mean, hey, sometimes you just need a little bit of allergies, you know? Who doesn't just want to have a ton of allergies?
Well, I would prefer not to, but
Gee, what a picky person.
Listen,
Yeah,
I have a friend who is allergic to shrimp and loves to eat them anyway, despite the allergy. So some people just take it and run with it. Hey,
Yeah,
that's actually
sometimes.
how I found out I was allergic to shrimp.
Ooh.
I am as well. I am allergic, so
I am not. I enjoy shrimp. Apparently, I'm the only one here that can enjoy shrimp. Very
We can
interesting.
still enjoy it. It's just highly suggested that we don't.
It has consequences, though. If you...
yeah. I don't. Well, sometimes I like playing games with my life. This is not one of those times.
Yeah, same.
Yes. Yeah, that's definitely a thing where, sure, you could, but do you really want to deal with those consequences? Probably not. Definitely, probably not.
Definitely, probably not. Yeah, like another pro for winter is that when you go out and drink, the alcohol keeps you warm. So, like, there you go. That's how that's how I choose to go out.
Fair.
Not to mention, if you get too hot in your house for whatever reason, you can just go outside and cool back down. During the summertime, if you're too hot in your house, you go outside, you're still going to be hot. You're going to die.
You suffer.
Yeah, it's just
And,
it's
like,
just so good.
With winter, the solution's simple. You can just put it on more layers. Eventually, you will put on enough layers that the cold don't bother you no more. That will happen eventually. You can't just keep stripping.
I mean, you can, but it's highly suggested that you don't.
It's very illegal to not in most scenarios, and even then, nobody wants to see your stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, summer's just not the place to be, for sure. So I definitely think we're all gonna disagree with fall is the worst season, which
Absolutely.
is a success for them. They went for it, and they definitely get an upvote. Cause that's the thing. Remember, an upvote means that they won, because the whole point is to have an unpopular opinion.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, that's always the thing to keep in mind. So this person is a winner. All right, so next up, we have from the lovely person called Crimson, has a Z then an S, TV. I prefer spoiling shows / movies / games / books for myself before watching or playing them. When a new bit of entertainment comes out, I typically wait a month or so before doing anything with it, so I have time to spoil it for myself by reading the entire summary of plot moments. I specifically look for things like betrayals, twists, character deaths, and endings. Having all the plot elements spoiled for me beforehand allows me to go through it looking for the foreshadow and the setup for in-game scenarios, which I personally find far more appealing and mentally engaging than the feeling of being surprised. I like to be able to keep an eye out for small clues throughout the series during my watch time so I can feel smart for connecting the dots. This also makes character explanations and reasonings more interesting to me because I can see if I picked up on the right elements, which turns a normally boring expository element into an answer sheet. To those wondering why I don't watch / read / play it once and then go back to see the foreshadowing, when I finish playing a game or watching something, I seldom ever do a second run through, as I like to ration my time for new activities. Going through an hour-and-a-half movie twice to pick up the writing on the wall doesn't feel worth my time. This is doubly true for television series or books, where I can spend well over a month chewing through the story. Video games are the biggest supporting argument for the time portion of my reasoning, because at times there can be tens of endings depending on your choices, but each playthrough can clock in 50+ hours. Looking at you, Bethesda. A side benefit for games is that I can use my knowledge of how things end to guide my choices, so I can do one play and get my preferred outcome. So, this is a person that doesn't actually want to have a surprising story. They don't want... I want to frame this in a not negative way to this person. They just want to go down the path they want to go down. They don't want to make a decision and then bite them in the ass later. They want to go down. They literally said answer sheet. They want an answer sheet of what to do to get the optimal path to what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll probably, I imagine this person drops a lot of shows before they even give them a chance based on how it goes.
Right.
So, I definitely am on the opposite end of this. I do not want to be spoiled on things. In fact, I also have a thing going even further for like games. If I have to keep looking up things to get the answer to something in a game, that takes me out of the game as well. Even if I'm legitimately stuck on it and can't advance, if I have to go through the effort of looking it up to figure it out, that takes me out of it. So, and I definitely do not want like movies, books, shows spoiled for me. I like getting emotionally engaged with shows. I cry a lot watching TV. Character deaths, they get me a lot.
I have a thing where, for no matter what it is, it could be animated, it could be live action. If I see someone crying or getting like really, really like choked up and emotional, it instantly gets me. Like I'll start crying too.
Hey, it happens.
I don't know if there's a name for it, but
sometimes things just tug at your emotions. But yeah, I'm all about getting in. I want to be attached to the characters, and if I know how their story goes, my attachment's already not the same as it would have been.
Right. So, for me, this is kind of like I'm on the fence about it, because sometimes I will spoil and sometimes I won't, and I'll explain why. So, as a person who plays a lot of like RPG games, which are very story based, if I feel like I know the story, it kind of takes it away from me, and I'm just like, okay, well, I can sit here grinding enemies or whatever, but like now I don't have the joy of the story being my reward. However, when it comes to stuff like shows, and even to an extent other games, because of the way that the market is, like for example, every show on Netflix is a good show. Someone will be like, oh, this show is so good, you have to watch it. To the point that I don't have time to watch everything. So like sometimes I'm like, I want to see something that'll make me interested to be like, okay, I want to know how this happens. So then I'll pick up the show. If I see like a really good scene, or if I hear like a character that I like a character shown early on is like a villain or dies early or something like that, then I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Why would they do that? And kind of the same thing with games. There's so many like good quote unquote AAA games that are, 30, 40 hours. And I'm like, what makes it stand out other than like the name or the company behind it? Like what is special about it? So sometimes then I would want to see some stuff. So I guess it depends on how invested I'm already in for whatever it is that comes out, I guess is the best way to put it.
That makes a lot of sense. I could definitely see that. I definitely think if you want to do it as like a time management system, I think that's okay. We don't have time for everything. There are a ton of things I would love to watch, but I simply, and keep in mind, my schedule is way more open than most people's schedules. I don't have a job. I just stream on Twitch. So I have more free time than most people do. But even then, there's not enough time in the day for everything you want to watch.
Right.
So you gotta find a way to manage it. How about you, Info?
So I'm kind of like I'm super on the fence about this, because like I wouldn't ever spoil the full on main story, but like there's a lot of times like I'll be going through games and stuff like that, and because I'm a huge RPG player myself, and like most RPGs, they give you choices. They have choices. These choices have consequences, and so on and so forth. A lot of them also have a romance system, and yada yada yada. And so like when you're going through these romance systems and these choices and stuff like that, a lot of times I'll go and look up like the path that you have to take to like get the ending that you're looking for. Because Fallout 4, for instance, when I did a playthrough of it, I don't even remember which character it was I was going for romance wise, but like I remember I had to look up her stuff because I didn't want to do the wrong thing. I didn't want to say the wrong dialogue line and mess it up. And I did the same thing for Stardew Valley with the characters on there. And by doing that, obviously, in order to know like when you look these up, obviously you're going to get the spoiler of the story related to it because it's going to give you the choice to pick, so you're going to know what happens. But at the same time, it's like I feel like in those instances, it's better than messing up and having to either reload a save and entirely having to go back who knows how many hours because you didn't save, or just getting the wrong ending in general, and then you're just like, well, man, that kind of really sucked the fun out of it, and then you're kind of just stuck. You don't really know what to do. But as for the whole of the main story, I would never spoil that. But just the little choices that you make throughout the game, if they're not like super blatantly obvious what direction they're going in, and sometimes they're like, hey, you have these choices, and it's like these choices are kind of one of those things where it's like you could really fuck up here. Sometimes it's better to not really fuck up there, and you just kind of need to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, at the beginning at least, is you want spoilers to avoid rejection.
I want spoilers to make sure that I'm not messing up.
The romance thing was, to me, just to throw a complete joke at it. It just sounded to be like, okay, do not want to be rejected in this game. That's not the experience I'm looking for. Let me find the optimal path to not be rejected.
So my wife will marry me.
Yes.
See, like certain games though, when you have like those romances, you get bonuses. Like you get bonus like perks, attributes, stats, whatever, to having these like in-game relationships, right? And so I 1000% would not want to mess that up because I want those perks. I'm all about efficiency in games. And so like if me making the wrong choice means I'm not getting that efficiency I want, nah son, we're cheating. We're looking it up. I'm making sure.
So what you're saying is you don't actually want that relationship to be happy with the person you're with virtually. You just want the perks that person offers. You don't actually care about that person at all. That sounds like a terrible relationship.
No. He wants to cheat to be loyal.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want my stuff from it.
Yeah, I don't actually. I don't care about you as a person. I don't actually love you at all. I just want to fuck you and get the benefits from it.
I want the stats off of it, yes. I'm looking for those stat bonuses.
Good God. Good God.
Friends with bonuses.
Friends with bonuses. Nice. I like that.
Thank you. I try.
Needs the bonus item associated with the girlfriend, pretty much. All right, Info. Let's throw this around then. If you're just in it for the perk, do you go as far before you start playing? Like, let's say it's a Mass Effect, where you can pick your character, be a boy or a girl, and then depending on that, you can only get with certain characters based upon that. Do you already look into what the perks they give is, so you can decide what character you want to have? Otherwise, you're not truly playing optimal. Are you?
Yeah, a lot of times I will at the very start of a game look up to see if it has a romance system and what the benefits are for having these romance systems. And like, if the game's like, hey, you don't really get anything out of this, I usually skip it.
I love character creation in games. I spend hours on it. In fact, I find it like, if a game says that they have a character creation system and it's actually good, that's a legitimate reason that, like, I'll buy a game. Okay.
Huh.
That's an actual selling point for me. Give me an actual good character customization. I'm sold.
Sometimes I feel like I'm falling into minority because I don't agree with that. Like, I don't necessarily, like, I'm not saying like what you want is bad or anything. I'm saying like usually like if it's too in-depth, I'm like, oh my god, I have to sit here for an hour making a character. Just give me the default and let's go.
Well, I feel like most character creations give you like defaults to pick between, and then like you don't have to do anything if you don't want to.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah, they give an option for people that don't want to do it, but for people like me, generally we're either not given enough options or I imagine character creation in Souls games when you don't see your character's face. Oh, I don't play that way. If a game has character customization, I don't use helmets. I don't care what the con of it is. I don't use helmets. I don't cover my face.
Yeah. I'm 1000% a person who is like more options in game is always better.
Mhm.
Like you shouldn't gatekeep at all. But I'm just saying, like I wouldn't base my choices based on the character customization. I'm
But
just
options also mean on both sides. Like, yes, you should have more options for people that want it, but at the same time, you need a very quick, simple system for, hey, I don't want to do it. I want to spend like 10 seconds here. All right, boom, boom, done.
exactly perfect. Everyone's happy.
Exactly.
Character customization is my downfall because I absolutely love sitting there and customizing characters, but then like that's also a problem because I really like to sit there and customize my character. And so like when a new game comes out, I'll be sitting there and it'll be like an hour in and my friends will be like, yo, I just finished this and this. And they're like, where you at? And I'm like, I'm sitting here, I'm working on the face right now. And they're like, what?
like yeah, I'm between those number 5 and 17, and I don't know.
Dude, for real,
Yeah,
for real.
I'm stuck, dude. Like, what hairstyle do I go with? Like, are the ears too big? Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm the person that will spend, like, Fallout games, for example. Great examples of I literally will spend 2+ hours in the character customization thing, and then I'll play for a few hours, and I'm like, you know, now that I'm actually in the in-game world, because the lighting's always different in the in-game world than in the actual thing, it's like, oh, there are things I want to change. Guess what it's time for? Back to restart.
My exact problem when I do put in effort and then like I'm like, oh, that face actually is disgusting. Never mind.
It's why I take notes. I also Google things and be like, okay, what have other people done? Let me see the results of what they did. Is there anything I can take from what they did? But then the problem with that is most people use mods because they can't. Most people need it handed to them via mods. They can't actually come up with it based on the in-game system. Bam bam, shot at those people. But, you know. I always enjoy it. But I'm also the person that as I'm doing that, it's not like that's the only thing I'm doing. I'm always watching something or listening to something while that's going on. So it's a thing to casually do while you're watching something, you know?
Fair. Definitely fair.
I wouldn't just be staring at a screen going like, oh, you know? I just can't decide between Nose 5 and 17. It's so hard. It's so hard.
17 is really nice though.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah, it's
but
really
Nose
nice.
5, it's very underrated. It be what it be.
I also think it's really fun, like in character customization, to like make a character like super fucking ugly to see the reactions of all the other people when it's an online game. Like there's nothing better than seeing a little itty bitty green man shaped like a pyramid hobbling down the street because he's way too
With a face
small.
like.
I've never been able to do. I always play around with that in character customization, but for like a Fallout where I know I'm going to be spending dozens of hours playing it, that's not what I want. So I can never actually commit to that. But I always experiment with it a little bit and see what's going on.
I'm already ugly in real life. Let me fantasize. Let me just look beautiful here.
Yeah, I mean, I think character customization is your... And, like, some people create themselves, and that's fine, you know? So that's the experience you want. I think that's perfectly okay. I'm not going to hate on that at all.
Agreed.
Not the route I'm ever going to go. I want something different from what I am currently, you know? And I don't always stick to that, but, like, South Park Fractured Butthole, for example, that's the game I'm currently doing on stream primarily. Right. And my character is not at all similar to me. And that's the way I want it, you know? You need to experience new things from different perspectives, and you can do that a little bit with an RPG. You can get yourself... Because I like to get myself in the mindset of the new character and be like, okay, this is what's going on. Now, clearly, when I play video games... Have you ever played the game LA Noire?
No.
Do you know what LA Noire is?
I know what it is, yes.
So when I was playing that, someone on stream described me as worse than Stalin. And I like to think that that's the approach I take with all games. And, you know.
That's,
Keep in mind, you're a detective. You're a detective in this game, and you have to drive around. Anytime I'm driving, I'm running people over. So, You know,
Uh-huh.
I'm just a terrible person in games. So
Well, fantasy.
it is a fantasy, you know? It's not like I'm going out in real life and running people over, but in a game, you know, I don't have to feel bad. Someone talks shit in Assassin's Creed, I kill them or knock them on their ass. You know?
It's in the name, yeah. You gotta assassinate them.
Exactly. And technically, and like Assassin's Creed 2, you only get penalized if you kill 3 people in a row in a short time period. So you're allowed to do 2. That's okay.
Fair.
So, I feel like we're kind of mixed on the subject of spoilers and shows, but I think the thing to focus on
all the way over here.
is this person said, I prefer. So do you overall prefer spoilers?
I guess in light of my argument, I would say yes. I do prefer.
How about you, Info?
I think I'm pretty much split down the middle. I can't say yes or no. I genuinely like. I don't want to. I will avoid them if I can, but like, I only avoid them for certain things. Whereas, like, I can guarantee that every game that I've played the first time through, I've avoided the main story, but I have ended up looking up other stuff in the game. So like, I'm pretty 50-50 on it. I can't say I am for or against just because.
Well, this is a good example of when the chat is vital to a discussion, because my answer is no, Helix's answer is yes, Enfu's in the middle. We need the chat to be the tiebreaker, and while the chat decides on the outcome of this.
Let's go, chat. What do you got?
Exactly.
Get those fingers going.
We got this. I mean, I feel like I appreciate when we actually have a debate. I feel like it's easy to disagree with people's unpopular opinions. So when one's actually a debate, those are the hot ones, you know.
And for the record, I'm not saying that I support spoiling things for other people, because I always hate that and I'm very adamant about that. But for
I'm the
myself,
kind of person that I don't want spoilers, but I'm a low skilled gamer, so I need help. But, and like with a puzzle, for example, I don't want the answer to the puzzle. What I want, and you're never going to get that looking it up. If you look it up, you're just going to get the answer. What I actually want is the logic behind how I would solve this. Not the answer, but okay, I clearly have not been able to solve this. What am I missing that would enable me to solve this? That's what I want.
Right.
But you never get that. And like that's the kind of like backseat gaming thing that I would be about. Like, okay, if I'm doing bad, tell me what I can do better. If it makes sense, like in gameplay, spoiling like what gameplay thing I need to do means very minimal.
Like, don't tell me where it is. Just be like, have you tried looking to your left?
Yeah, have you
at
tried
a 45-degree angle?
Have you tried throwing bombs at things?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, so I need bombs here. What looks like, yeah, exactly, perfect. That's a perfect analogy.
Yes, it's spoiling something without spoiling it. Like, okay, you can help people without ruining it for them, and that's pretty much what I want in games, because I'm pretty low skilled. So you know, just guide me down the right path, but don't like take me to the answer. Just show me where the path is, kinda, and I'll go that way, and we'll solve it.
Perfect. All right, so we
have Just Know from Blood Edge.
Yeah.
And then we have In Between with Drowns in Coffee, but they really feel like the side quest stuff / not as important things to be okay to spoil, but never plot spoilers. I feel like, so we have 2 In Betweens with Info and Drowns in Coffee. We have prefers yes with Helix, and then prefers no with me and Blood Edge. So I feel like we may have to give it up to do not prefer.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's a strong do not prefer, but I think overall people would not. Overall, it's either split or would not prefer it. So I think
we have to go with the definitive decisions. So yeah.
Yeah. So we'll give it an upvote.
Gets another upvote.
All right. Next up on the docket, coming in at a lovely username of if it wants to load. Yeah. Hello, Trinity. Drinking
Hi,
another
Trinity.
species' milk is unnecessary and disgusting. We're the only species that drinks milk after infancy. Not to mention other species' milk. It's completely unnecessary, and you've been propagandized. How the fuck do you pronounce that word actually?
Don't ask me.
Propagandized. What the hell? Okay, that's a big word. Let's see.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
The power of Firefox. Let's see. Search Google.
I'd say propagandized.
Propagandize.
Yeah, that's right. Propagandized.
Holy shit!
I was gonna say English is my first and only language, but it's not my best one. So
Yeah, English is my only language, but it's not like peak English. It's more like I speak it, but I'm not a pro. So, propagandized to believe that it's beneficial and healthy for us. It's not. Cow's milk is designed for baby cows. Goat's milk is designed for baby goats. We are neither, so we have no reason to consume dairy. Let's save the milk for the baby animals.
All right. So I recently made the switch to almond milk.
All right.
So I'm with it. I'm with the idea that it's unnecessary, but not that it's disgusting. So that's why I'm like, I don't know where I would fall with this.
I don't know. I feel like for me, like, I don't drink milk. To me, milk just makes my stomach feel weird.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't drink it too often. But, like, I consume dairy products. But,
Yeah. Okay. So that makes it different then, doesn't it?
yeah. So, I don't know. Like, this person, they pointed out milk, but they're also going on about dairy as well.
Mm-hmm.
And do I think it's unnecessary? I think a lot of things we do are unnecessary. I think humans in general most things we do are unnecessary. But do I think it's disgusting at all? No. Not really. So drowsing coffee would be totally fine drinking only soy milk, but it is expensive.
And they would know they drink coffee all the time.
Exactly.
I'm down with almond milk. I absolutely love the stuff. I've been drinking it for years now, and honestly, I personally like almond milk way more than I do normal milk.
Yeah.
I think it's got like a sweeter flavor to it. It tastes better. It's funky. That, and I'm allergic to normal milk, so I mean, you know.
Ooh.
Hey, it's fine. Sometimes you just gotta discover the things you're allergic to, so you know to avoid them.
Yeah. Yeah, recently I moved out on my own for the first time, and that was one of the things that was like, okay, I want to try new stuff. And then I was like, hey, I've always heard about this almond milk stuff. Let's give it a go. And it was fantastic. And I was like, oh, I want this from now on. But yeah, that I'm stuck on the dairy thing now, because I wonder how often I have products that are not made with like cow milk.
I mean, I think my Dr. Pepper's dairy free. Maybe.
Yeah, that's why it gives you the extra eyes. We know this.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that almond milk tastes better, I guess I'll agree that it's unnecessary and quote unquote disgusting.
Ooh. I think the disgusting part's also where they lose me a lot. Is cheese disgusting then? Absolutely not to me. Would you say cheese is disgusting?
No, but I don't know. If we keep it on milk, because then it's a whole different argument with the dairy, then I would say yes, alternate milk is superior.
Actually, fun fact about that, because I actually have an allergy against milk, it makes dairy products I'm either allergic to them or my taste buds are sour to them. So like cheese by itself, if I eat them, most of the time they taste really bad to me unless I like cook them into things or like mix them with other things. But just cheese by itself, tastes really bad to me. I am 100% extremely allergic to yogurt, and it like if I even eat like a little bit of it, I break out and stop breathing. So that's a no go. And ice cream, when I eat ice cream, I get super congested, and like if I eat too much of it, I'll actually be bedridden for like a whole entire day.
Yikes!
Yeah, it's not fun.
Definitely not. That's not what I would call that.
I mean, sometimes you gotta live life on the edge.
Now you're sounding like my friend who eats the shrimp.
Oh boy. Sometimes you just gotta eat things that cause bad side effects.
I mean, I do actually. Like, I still eat things that I'm not supposed to have, but I don't eat things that I know are guaranteed to kill me. But at the same time, it's also like, it's probably not the proper mindset that we're supposed to have here. But with food allergies, every time you eat something, it's like playing Russian roulette. You never know if it's going to kill you or not. So there's always that little bit of fun to it.
Here's a question. What isn't going to kill you?
Man, it just, I don't even know anymore.
Like, people would point out water, like, okay, where are you getting that water? Tap? Well, how's that chlorine gonna feel? Okay. Bottled? They put stuff in that too. So, what is actually not accelerating your time to departure? I don't know. I know anything that would.
I got nothing.
Yeah, pretty much.
You could make the argument of oxygen being like.
I mean, oxygen,
you.
you know? I mean, technically, oxygen's running out eventually, so, you know? Don't worry.
Hey.
We're just getting rid of trees. Who needs to breathe?
I used to have this theory that I would tell people where it's like, what if oxygen's actually like a type of poison that's slowly killing us over the span of 100 years? And if we was to actually like breathe other gases or something like that, we'd actually be okay and become immortal.
That would be hilarious.
It would be fantastic.
Although, would you really want to be immortal?
Well, partially.
I don't think I would.
No.
I mean,
in fact,
go ahead.
Quite the opposite. I'm just like, I'd rather just go first. Like, give me like a few more years, and I'll be like, all right, I'm done here. Don't have to see nobody die. I know this is getting really morbid, but I don't know.
My bio on Discord literally says I witnessed the end. I was its guest. So, I mean, I want to be there to the very end, baby. I want to be one of the last ones standing, you know? I want to see how it all goes. I want to see the final confrontation. I want to see how it all goes down.
Well, I just want to see how it all... Like, if I get chosen by Thanos to be one of the 50% that has to go for the other half to thrive, I'm okay with that. I'm all in on Thanos.
If it's someone else's decision or action, then I'm built different. I'll fight him. But...
hey, Thanos did nothing wrong. His mindset isn't...
Is that a new debate topic?
I mean, it could be. Thanos did nothing wrong. Listen, at the end of the day, all Thanos wanted was better for everyone. His mindset was simple. Half of all life must die so the other half can thrive.
There is so many loopholes in that. Oh my god, like...
Excuse me?
There is so many loopholes in that. Like, you know how many ecosystems absolutely got destroyed by that?
Hey, listen.
Mm-hmm.
What ecosystems do you really need?
Not to mention the whole thing about it being like randomly half and half, like randomly chosen, as opposed to there are individuals who are actively part of the problem that should be first to go before you decide on anyone else. So indiscrimination is not exactly the way to go with that.
there's also the whole predator versus prey thing. And if he was to whiff and like take out like half of all the ecosystems that are prey and not predators, then like they would all eventually like, because just from the lack of there being food, that would literally cause the mass starvation on like a actual universal scale, and it would inadvertently cause like so many things to go extinct, and it would destroy so many, like it would end up wiping out so much more life than he ever intended.
I can't believe that you dare belittle what Thanos wanted to accomplish.
I can't believe that he would be so ignorant on the topic of wiping out half of all life in the universe.
Plus, to be fair, who said it's completely random?
I thought he
Like, I'm
did.
not saying that it's... He just said half of all life. I mean, for example, if you've not watched Infinity War for the next 30 seconds, maybe you want to close your ears. Minor... Well, spoiler. You know, Doctor Strange. What?
I just feel like we already did that, having a whole debate about like, oh yeah, he deleted 50% of the population, so
that's what he wanted to do. That was his whole.
No, but I'm saying like we already passed the spoiler warning part.
You know, you can set out to do something and not accomplish it.
True.
Never said he was successful.
Whoops.
Whoops. So, Doctor Strange made a deal with him to keep Tony Stark alive. This was before the snap. So if it was truly random, you couldn't have made that deal. Logically. So I think there is at least some...
Wait, what? That was a thing?
Yeah, he made a deal to... That was the whole thing, like, to get the time stone from Doctor Strange, Thanos and Doctor Strange made a deal to keep Tony Stark alive. That was the deal for him to get the time stone.
I 100% do not remember this.
Yeah.
Was it like a cut scene? Like, was it actually in the movie itself?
Yeah, that was actually in the movie. That's how he got the time stone.
I just remember it as he looked at all the futures and was like, giving it over was the only correct one.
Yeah.
No, the only correct solution was keeping Tony Stark alive. And that's why he made the decisions he did.
Which he did by handing it over, because I guess he would have died in the fight.
To which he had made a deal with Thanos to keep him alive. You know.
All right, pull the movie up. Let's go. Let's watch it.
Wait. If I could find it, that would be hilarious.
Is that on Watch Party? I don't know.
I don't even know.
I own the DVD to it.
Oh yeah. Begin watching the movie and tell me in about 3 hours when you get to the part.
Well, wait, it's fine.
I'll just Google it.
That works too.
Fair. I found a clip, but I have no idea if it's going to be the actual part that we're looking for. Do we actually want to watch this?
Fuck it, let's go.
Alright, so... I don't even know if this is going to be the correct thing, so keep that in mind headed into this. Don't even know if this is the correct thing, but if you've not seen Infinity War, this is about two and a half minutes of Infinity War, so... in theory, this is about the part we want to go to. In theory. We'll see. Just a little stabbing.
You have my respect, Stark. When I'm done, half of humanity will still be alive. I hope they remember you.
Stop. Spare his life, and I will give you the stone.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
No tricks. Don't.
Simple deal. Spare his life, and he'll give you the stone.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Definitely didn't remember that.
So my memory was correct.
I remember seeing it. Yeah, I remember it now. But holy shit, yeah, I honestly completely forgot about this whole entire interaction.
So it
Listen,
can't
I
be
forgot that Tony got
100%
stabbed.
random. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
okay.
can't be 100% random. So, as I said, Thanos did nothing wrong.
I mean, he still killed Spider-Man, so he can rot in hell. But whatever, it's fine.
Listen.
Mm.
That fucking scene was so sad, dude.
Mm.
The fact, what makes it so bad about Spider-Man's one of the only people that could feel it coming. His spider senses told him, oh shit, dude.
Yeah.
You're done. And when you feel that, that's such a sense of panic that would override you at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So sad.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yikes. But yeah, good on you, because that one line, I definitely didn't remember that. So.
That was the key part for me.
Mm.
I honestly completely, I'd entirely forgot. That was a thing. I remember him. Yeah, I remember him like looking through all the outcomes and stuff like that. But I honestly I couldn't remember him making the deal.
It wasn't Toby's Spider-Man, so who cares? Hi, CJ. Hey, listen, Tobey Maguire was great, but
Andrew Garfield was better.
wow, that's a hot take. That.
Huh?
I think he's like, oh, that's a hot one. That's a debate. All right, new debate.
New one. Oh god.
All right. Tobey Maguire versus Tom Holland versus Andrew Garfield. Who's best? Who's worst?
Andrew Garfield was so good as Peter Parker.
To be fair, I need to rewatch those movies. I don't even remember them that well.
I will die on this hill, but Andrew Garfield was amazing.
If anything else, his Spider-Man movies were not ones that really attracted too many people.
Mm-hmm.
If nothing else.
It's true.
And that's why I don't even remember. I watched them all. Two? There was two of them, right?
Yes.
I remember watching them both, but I don't actually remember them. So,
Yeah.
Like, I can picture his face. I can picture certain big scenes, but I cannot, like, if you tell me Spider-Man 1 through 3, I got it on lock. You tell me. I think Tobey Maguire's, to me, is the best. I think Andrew... Go ahead.
I was going to say, this is not a comment on the movie.
But based on the actor's portrayal of Spider-Man. And those Spider-Mans.
That he's the best.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And I think Tobey Maguire's was the best. And Tom Holland, I don't know. Like, do I think not memorable or a child is worse? I don't know. That's a debate for me. I don't know. Because I wish Spider-Man was older in the current version. I enjoy Tom Holland. I think he's a good actor. I mean, I don't think Andrew Garfield's bad either at acting. I just think Tobey Maguire's was my favorite Spider-Man character of the bunch. So, I don't know.
I've only seen I've only ever seen like 2 Spider-Man movies ever, and that was the one with the first one with Tom Holland in it or whatever. I don't even remember his name. Like, yeah, I don't even remember his name.
Homecoming?
I think so. Maybe, yes. I don't know that one. I've seen that one, and then like eons ago when I was like little, I went to the theaters with like my dad and some relatives or like I think cousins or whatever. We watched one of the Spider-Man movies. I don't even remember which actor it was, and I didn't even finish it. I fell asleep like halfway through it because like I'll be honest with you, growing up, Spider-Man to me was overrated as fuck, and I never liked him. And so the Spider-Man movies did nothing for me at all in any shape or form. And then I like Tom Holland. I like him as an actor himself. Like what he does on social media stuff like that's pretty funny. So like I vibe with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he did a good job portraying Spider-Man, but I'd have to probably go back and watch the older ones to honestly give a full-blown opinion.
I just don't think. I want to see Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland pull off what Tobey Maguire did with the darker Spider-Man as Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 3.
Right. So okay. So this is my argument, right? Tobey Maguire definitely had the best movies because he had the best villains. He had the goblins. He had Venom. Like, of course, those are way more memorable. No doubt about that. However, I think Andrew Garfield had the perfect combination of Peter Parker is supposed to be a nerd. He's supposed to be a nerdy kid who got bit by the spider and takes pictures and whatever. He had the portrayal of that like really awkward, like, oh man, like I'm so like not cringy, but you know, like he's not smooth at all with the girls, etc., etc. And then as Spider-Man, I felt like he had the best in terms of the quips, the rebuttals, the humor that Spider-Man is known for. That I love Tom Holland, but I don't. Besides like the pop culture references and him being like, all right, fine, little cute references here and there, I don't feel like the confident Spider-Man vibe from him yet in any of his movies. I feel like he's still struggling, which yes, he's a younger Spider-Man, but I think Andrew did well in going from like the awkward to like the confident superhero. So as Spider-Man, I love him and I stand by that.
Fair.
And I think if he had the story and the villains of the original trilogy, it would have been a million times better. But writing wise, his movies weren't the best, and I concede that.
And I definitely think that affects everyone's opinion of the Spider-Mans based upon how the movie actually did. Because, I mean, to be fair, you could be the best actor in the world, but if the writing is garbage, there's only so much you can do.
Exactly.
So, it's definitely not a fair comparison, but from what we were given, it's hard to put Andrew Garfield up. He may have had a lot of potential, but we never got to see it in full.
Yeah.
I mean,
and they replaced him.
Yep.
So we'll never know.
We'll never know. Hey, if you ask me, they should still bring back Tobey Maguire for the role, even though he's probably like what, in his 30s, if not about to be 40. How old is Tobey Maguire? He can play like an 18-year-old, right?
You know, they do it regardless. So.
Oh, excuse me. He's 45 years old.
Oh yeah, for sure he could be 18.
Yeah, he could totally be 18. I don't know. Vincent Price can turn a poorly written movie. Maybe they should make him Spider-Man. Who is Vincent Price? Should I know who Vincent Price is?
I feel like we should, but
let's see.
I'm not much of a movie person, so
looks like an old dude. 82 years old. Yes, an 82-year-old. Yes, this guy looks like he could be an 18-year-old Spider-Man. I believe it.
Maybe 17. I don't know about 18.
He's been dead for 30 years. Even better.
Oh.
Even better. I was actually just getting into that part of Wikipedia. Old horror movies? He died at 82, so excuse me, he'd be 112 now if he was still alive. That passed for 18, no problem. If you're 118, you technically are 18 again.
There you go.
Easy. That's how it works.
We won't know because we're not immortal, but maybe Info will let us know after he does whatever he does.
Exactly. So, wrapping it, and you should know him. I don't know him. It's fine. Just dig him up. It'll dry. You talk about him all the time on Discord. Yeah, but if he's been dead for 30 years, I guarantee I've never seen a movie he was in or anything. I don't watch old stuff. Yeah. So, to wrap it all around, to bring us all the way back to drinking another species milk being unnecessary and disgusting. I feel like I'm going to have to disagree overall. I would agree that it's unnecessary, but I would disagree that it's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where I'd fall.
Purely on the milk and not dairy, I agree with this. And specifically cow milk and not dairy.
Hashtag save the cows.
Agreed. I don't know if they're in danger, but agreed.
I mean, they slaughter them all the time.
Oh, okay, yeah, then, well, yeah.
Yeah, save the cows. How about you, Info? Agree or disagree?
Okay, so like, I definitely think it's not necessary,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not disgusting. This
See-
person's just they're half wrong, half right. I don't know what to give them.
Yeah, I feel the same way you do, bud. So.
That's what I'm saying. My logic is because there's something that tastes better and it's not the pinnacle of taste.
Hold on. I got this. Define the word disgusting. Easy. That could determine everything. What? Arousing revulsion or strong indignation. Yeah, I definitely don't think I have that towards milk.
Strong indignation.
Yes. Them cows gonna keep making milk and laying on my plate. Wow.
All right, fine. It's not strong indignation, so I guess fine. Okay, fine. I'll disagree. Give me a vote.
All right. And see, I wasn't even doing that specifically to debunk you. I just wanted to know the definition of disgusting to see how far that went. If I could justify saying it was disgusting or not.
No, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I was just trying to see what you could classify as disgusting by definition.
Mm-hmm. I debunked myself. I was just like, in terms of ranking, but
yeah,
it's not that low.
All right. So next up, we have chicken nugget style. So we got chicken nugget style. Great name. I just want to point that out first. Chicken nugget style is great.
Shout out to the Nuggies.
Yeah, I really want some chicken nuggets now.
This dude vibing.
Flushing before you get up from the toilet is a much better experience. Yeah, I don't get why people always stand up before flushing. For as long as the Western world is stuck with our medieval toilet tech, I'll take my nice little anal misting any day of the week. I'm gonna have to assume, based on that last line, that Enfu has to be against this because he's also against bidets. He doesn't want.
I do remember that from the Pat episode.
Yes, he does not want water there. So I think talking for Enfu, I feel like based on previous stances, I'm gonna have to guess that he's gonna disagree with this.
I don't. I can't really say that like it's something that I think about when I go to flush the toilet is, man, I better stand the fuck up or man, I better be sitting. Like,
yeah.
That's so weird. Like who sits there on the toilet and thinks, man, I better not get up before I flush. Like, who does that?
It's weird because I feel like the description doesn't match the title question or statement.
Not at all.
Because I'm like, flushing doesn't have to do with the misting at all. Unless it means,
I want to point out that their edit is just hilarious. For anyone assuming I don't wipe, because it's on Reddit, so people make comments. I do the lean in half stand to wipe and then sit back down for my special little butthole shower. I'm not an animal. What? What?
Again, I don't see what this has to do with wiping, but sure.
My friend said she likes your hair, Helix.
Thank you.
Oh, and it's good hair. I would agree.
Yeah, same. Like I was thinking the same thing. It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Thank you. Redying it soon, hopefully. So not sure what color I'm doing next, but
what colors are you considering?
I have either purple again, blue, or red.
Ooh.
Dude, purple. 100% purple.
Hey, you can't go wrong with purple.
I do like the purple. I did like the purple a lot.
Purple's my favorite color. Can never go wrong with purple.
Yeah.
Very fair, very fair. Yeah, I definitely think I agree with why are we putting so much thought into whether we should stand or sit up when we're on the toilet before we flush?
The only reason I could think that you wouldn't want to no, I just thought of why you would not want to be sit. Well, no. I don't fucking know, man. So like, here's the thing: whenever you flush your toilet, right, and it like the water does all the spinny shits and goes down, all the germs that are in the toilet actually fly straight up in the air and they go flying out in the room, right?
Yes.
And so if you're sitting down, all them germs is going right back up your ass. So I'm not sure if
it is by definition literally shitty water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, literally. So like,
I agree with the comment that someone made that says this person just needs a bidet. If they want anal mist done, just get a bidet.
that's why there's poop particles on toothbrushes. See,
Joke.
there's not on mine. I actually have mine in like a little protector thing. So
Joke's on you. My toothbrush stays in the cabinet.
Haha.
Fair.
Um, I'm trying. Okay, so
We're blown away by this.
okay, whatever. We're on the topic of poop, so like whatever.
Exactly.
So I will only flush before I get up, or rather, just as quickly as possible if I'm shitting in someone else's house.
Ooh,
'Cause
you don't
I'm
want the
like-
smell to linger.
Exactly. So I'm just like, as soon as it's out, I'm like, all right, flush. So then I guess I am still sitting. But I feel like it's not, besides that instance, it's not a conscious decision of whether I flush before or after.
Yeah, I don't think it's a conscious decision with me. I don't think, as Infu said, I'm not putting in thought process. Like, listen. When I'm doing that, I'm not putting in thought process. Oh, let me optimize my visit here.
The optimal strategy
Yeah,
for
the
shitting.
Let me look up the spoilers to see what the optimal strategy is. I would hate to get the wrong
Competitive
outcome.
ranked shitting.
Yes. Exactly. That'd be hilarious.
I don't know.
I
I
think
guess
going based on their wording, that is a much
Mhm.
better experience. I'm gonna have to go with nah.
yeah.
The only thing that could give me my optimal bathroom experience that I am truly looking for is a golden toilet.
This is true. Enfu wants an actual golden toilet.
I do. I want one so bad I can't stand it. I've always wanted one.
As long as it plays the Halo theme song when you open the lid.
I mean, it can do whatever it wants. I just want a golden one. Like, you got to think, everybody wants golden everything, like from jewelry to just, there's so many people that want so many golden things, but you never think about the man who wants the golden toilet. So therefore, mine would be pretty unique, aside from the other people who think like me. In them case, fuck them people. But like, golden toilets are lit. Look at that shit. Look at it, man.
As the world craves gold, Infu just wants to shit on it.
Pretty much. You know. I'm not sure. I feel like I like this one the best. I think this is the best image of one. So CJ said, I bet Enfu likes golden showers too. Enfu, do you have a comment on that?
I just want the golden toilet. I
Fair?
don't want anything else golden. I just want my golden toilet.
Here's a question. Would a golden bidet make the bidet more attractive to you?
Asking the real questions now.
Probably not. If I got the money to go out and buy a golden toilet or golden bidet, I'm going for the toilet.
But what if it was what if they had a combo deal? Like, okay, you have the golden toilet, but for an extra $50, cause $50 when you're buying a golden toilet's not much money. It had a golden bidet.
I don't want the bidet. I want the toilet. I want the golden toilet. I don't care about the bidet. They could give it to me for free and I throw it away on the way out. I don't want that. I want my toilet.
No, because it still turbo punches your asshole.
Can we start a GoFundMe to get this man his toilet?
Please.
I'd contribute.
How much? Actually, I think I think it said it costs like $1 million, like this golden toilet specifically. So maybe.
Right.
Do we have any millionaires in chat?
I got 5 on it.
What a gold toilet's worth. According to the museum, over 100,000 people waited in line to use. I want to point out that this golden toilet right here that I just showed you pictures of is called America.
Makes a lot of sense.
I mean, it really does. And that in September 2019, it was valued at more than $4 million. So, go fund info, $5 million. You gotta pay taxes as well. Let's not forget that.
I got $5. But we gotta start somewhere.
Ooh, Bill Up has a good point. Info, get a bidet, have it turbo your asshole, and get that injury you always talked about, and then sue for the golden toilet. That's big brain.
If I'm gonna purposely injure myself on something, the money's not going towards a golden toilet. It depends on how much I get, actually. If I get enough from an injury, I might consider it.
Well, you gotta make it a big injury. You gotta make it a big showing.
All right, but we also have to make sure the injury allows him to still shit on his own power.
I mean, it's only turbocharging up his asshole and his own crazy mind. So, you know, it's just a bit of water. It just cleans you out a bit.
Sounds good.
But of course, because he's so scared of it, he's just gonna overreact and pretend his asshole's gone.
I mean, I just don't want. I don't want water going in my butthole, man. Like, if I've just had a nice poop and I stand up, I don't want water squirting out up in there.
I could be wrong. Cool. I've never used a bidet. I mean, I'm sure you can change the water temperature if you really wanted to, but you know, I'm pretty sure that you're not supposed to stand up before the bidet shoots water at you. That's a good assumption.
Not. Yeah.
You know, see, now what if the water gets on your nuts? That's a whole other different, not kind of good.
He doesn't want his anal cherry popped.
I don't want nothing squirting on my ass. I just don't.
I mean, that's fair. I'm just waiting for the week where before the next episode, Info's like, hey, I have a banned topic I'd like to add. Stop talking about bidets. That's coming one day. It's going to eventually be a banned topic.
There's going to be someone who comes on who's just adamantly for them and thinks he's ridiculous for not using it. And then it's like, yeah, that's it. We're done.
I'm sure people already do.
We're done with this topic.
I want someone to come on that owns a bidet that can take a camera on the show to the bathroom to show what the bidet actually does. Like, not actually
videos of them. I know what they do.
Just brings the laptop and does it on the podcast as a power move.
Yes. Like... show the rate at which the bidet goes. Cause think about this. If you watch a video randomly, then for all you know, that could be a biased, perfectly unflawed bidet. But what you need to see one out in the wild by a normal person. That's the true indicator. And then you can see what the average person experience is going to be. Maybe they do it a couple times just to really illustrate a pattern. And then bam. Easy.
I don't think that'll help him just not wanting things to go up there, but I mean,
he'll watch the stream at like 4 times speed and then be like, look at that. Look at how fast it just went. Look at how... Exactly. Splish, splash, bidet, wash that ass. Fair. Very fair. So, I believe we all disagreed with this person overall, that it's not a much better experience.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Has anybody actually lost so far throughout these debates today?
I don't think so.
No, not today.
All right. So your local ham dealer, you know, just a local ham dealer, as you do.
As opposed to a national one.
Exactly. They said, I don't like nice numbers. I get annoyed when numbers end in a 5 or a 0. It's just wrong to always go for them when there are so many other numbers available. My weekend and weekday alarms are set for 7:44 and 6:23 a.m. The TV volume is usually between 16 and 24, but never 20. My default time to microwave food is 59 seconds. It seems the only time people don't pick a nice multiple of 5 is when you're playing a guessing game, and then it's like they're picking on the other numbers for not being as popular. This person, they just support all numbers.
I'd like to start off with the nicest number, 69.
Yes.
Nice.
I feel like the top 3 numbers on the internet, 69, 420, and then 1337. Easy peasy.
How do you decide what is a nice number?
I
Like,
think
what, like,
I think their whole thing is if it's commonly used, it's a nice number. If it's the other numbers that are not like multiples of 5, they're being picked on because nobody uses them randomly.
so is this going to lead to like turf wars? Like, are we about to have like number streets? Like, what the fuck?
Fuck. I'll have you know, I heard a rumor that number 7 is about to revolt against number 5. I heard number 2 doesn't really want to do that, but, you know, you have to band together when you're not a nice number. So, it may happen.
I don't have a particularly strong feeling about this.
I feel
But-
like this person, I want to know why they have such an attachment to these numbers. What started this?
People just don't like what's popular, I guess.
Maybe.
Um,
I also agree with someone that's like, listen, why is your default microwave time 59? To be fair, if there is a time to not mess with, it's heating things up so that they are healthy to eat. I think
Right.
that's numbers you don't mess with. So I think for that reason and that reason alone, I'm gonna have to disagree with this person.
yeah, I guess I'll also disagree.
Uh,
I think they're fine.
I've honestly never sat down and thought, hey, this number is really mean to the other numbers, or man, this number deserves a golden star for being so nice. I've never really sit down and thought about that before. So
Exactly.
Hey, I'll have you know that these big corporation numbers are holding down the little numbers. I'll have you know. It's a big industry problem right now. 4 just wants all the popularity in the world, but when 5's around, it just can't get it. Think about how 9 feels when 10 gets all the spotlight.
Well, sometimes it doesn't make a difference.
I
5 inches is better than 4.
mean,
Hey.
but would you jump from 5 to 10?
I'm not jumping on anything, but that's just a medical emergency, probably.
Probably. All right, so I think we're gonna overall disagree with this person for sure.
Yeah, this person is very passionate about these numbers, and I don't know who hurt them, but
Everyone.
local ham dealer, I hope you feel better. Have a nice day.
Oh, and I hope you saw a lot of hams, but not 5 or 10. Never the round numbers like
None of
that.
that. I'll give you like a 3-finger salute, like
Yeah, 30 fingers.
there you go.
Yep.
Instead of the 4.
So, IQ Storm, they said, I like the toxicity, which they capitalized the T in toxicity, so they mean it. The toxicity in gaming and online generally. I love trash talking, and I love making people rage quit, and I like taking advantage of a bug that's currently not been fixed. Yes, I do get annoyed when people do it at me, but I also enjoy it because it makes me even more competitive. I usually do it against other toxic people and love rubbing a win at their face so much that they just start sending private matches and call me noob. I don't understand why companies and people are against that. Like banning people just because they trash talk or used a bug that should have been fixed by the devs. Either way, I feel like the day that toxicity dies in gaming will be a huge loss for all of us. And then they added later, I just want to add and say a couple things. My toxicity is usually towards the enemies. I rarely become toxic against my team because my goal is to win. Sometimes when they try to throw games, I admit. Also, my trash talking does not include being racist, sexist, or anything. There's enough of that in the world, and I'm against that, so I might even become toxic towards those people. Now,
Right.
I'm not a competitive multiplayer person. I don't play a lot of multiplayer, but I am 1,000% guilty of, like, if me and a friend are playing something, and we're being competitive in any way, if we're on opposite teams, I'm 100% trash talking.
Right.
But it's all just friendly banter, man.
All right. So this is an interesting one for me. So me and Infu before this were talking about how I'm a big fighting game fan, and specifically in fighting games, if you don't talk shit, like half of the fun is gone.
Ooh.
Like the appeal is to be like, I'm better than you.
And you know it.
Exactly. And I like the edit that they had at the end where it's like, as far as sexism, racism, none of that is in it at all.
No.
And that's really good because I was like, that, no, never that. But there's 101 ways to trash talk without insulting someone in
Yes.
those kind of ways. And in that case, I would 100% agree with this.
I would also say, I feel like depending on the part that they talked about is where I agree or disagree. Like, I don't think trash talking inherently is toxic. I wouldn't say that's toxic. I don't think making people rage quit is the thing that I would strive. I think that's toxic. And I mean, taking advantage of a bug that's currently not been fixed, I think that's just fair game.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
what, are you gonna make yourself lose when you're like, okay, listen, I could take advantage of this that everyone else is taking advantage of, or I could be, oh, I'm a good guy that's not gonna take advantage of things. Oh, why would I dare do anything that's not what the game wants me to do? Like, if it's just point 1 or point 3, this person has me. They lose me on point 2, though.
Right. And yeah, and some people just I do know people who enjoy getting hate mail for playing well, not for anything else, but for doing everything and playing well, and then you get those messages of like, oh, look at you, you're so trash, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, all right, but I won, so.
Exactly. Sometimes you just gotta tell someone to watch the game back, and specifically watch you, to see what a winner looks like.
There you go. I can send you the VOD if you want tips. But...
Yeah. I mean, hey, I'm full of hot tips. You want to do better at a game? Step 1, don't die. Easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes the easiest pro tips are the simple ones. So, Info, do you like the toxicity in gaming and online generally?
I'm not a big fan of certain toxic things. I'm definitely a shit talker. My friends are definitely shit talkers. Definitely things have been said. Definitely can't repeat them. I'll catch a ban. So, for that reason, I have to agree and disagree with this person. I don't like toxicity. I like talking shit. I'm good at talking shit. So,
Okay, I think we should reframe this then. I think remove what they're actually saying in the title, and let's just go on the 3 main points they had. I think we all agree that trash talking is good. So that's acceptable.
Yes.
Do you love making people rage quit?
Absolutely.
yeah.
All right.
Again, as long as it's not to a point where it's insulting someone personally based on whatever aspect you're going with. If it's in game and you're rage quitting because I'm playing better than you, hell yeah.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah,
Very
if I'm curb stomping you or pub stomping, then like you best just get out the way or leave the lobby because like I'm about to just steamroll. It ain't even funny, son.
Yup.
I mean, it sounds like then if I'm 2/3 of the way on board, you all are both 3/3 of the way on board. So I feel like overall we agree with this person,
I believe so.
which makes them a loser.
Woo! First one. And
Can't
as
really-
a loser, we have the right to say, get fucked, loser.
Exactly. Get better
Get
at
fucking good.
unpopular opinions, you fucking noob.
Get
Yeah.
Hey, trash talking's good. If anything else, I think we can all agree that trash talking is good. And that, actually, that is tonight's loser. That's it. That's all the debate topics we had for the week. IQ Storm is the loser. So,
Woo.
you know, I think we did avoid one thing this round of debates, though. And I think it's interesting. Nobody said something so bad that we had to off their head.
Yeah, I know. Like that's just it's a first. I usually have to take somebody's head off every single time. This time it didn't happen.
I'll take that as a compliment that I'm pretty agreeable. So
Ooh.
Well, usually we get like we come.
Your mic just broke, Info. Or it muted itself. One of the two just happened. Either way, it sounds like it just smashed. So, next up, when Info comes back, did you just come back, Info? Hi.
My mic unplugged.
That
Whoa.
makes sense. That sounded like what I heard. Hi.
Yeah, it just unplugged. Like I don't know what the fuck happened, but no. See, every episode of this podcast that I think we have done since I became a co-host here, there has been someone who is a psychopath, and we just have to cut their head off. Like they don't need it anymore. They're not using it properly at that point. It just needs to go. And we actually sane people this time. I'm surprised. Little sad,
right.
but surprised.
I mean, heck yeah, man. All right. So next up, we have a ton of trailers, gameplay demos, and a CG
Yeah.
short to watch. So this is how I want to do it. We have 12 to watch, but I say we have 10 to watch, but we're gonna only pick between 9 because one of them is for the Xbox, which is going to be a big topic. I want to just go over all the console stuff together, so we'll save that for later. So, how I want to do this, pretty simple. We have 3 people in the call right now, and then we have the chat. And I say we just rotate and just have people pick. So, it doesn't matter who goes first, but your options are the Star Wars Squadrons Hunted CG short, Final Fantasy XVI, I cannot read Roman
16.
numbers, 16, Awakening trailer, Hogwarts Legacy reveal trailer, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, or how the fuck you say his last name, excuse me. Morales. Okay, that makes sense. That sounds a lot better. Gameplay demo. Nowhere Left to Run teaser for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition announcement trailer. Demon Souls Remake official gameplay. Monster Hunter Stories 2 and Monster Hunter Rise announcement trailers. So, who would like to go first?
Can we please do one of the Monster Hunters first? I've been sitting here. I've been like bouncing up and down over this Monster Hunter stuff. I'm a monstrous fan of the series, and I want to see what both of those are about.
So, Info wants to go
Yeah.
first with a Monster Hunter. Do you have a preference between Rise or Stories 2?
Rise, because my friends have been sending me stuff on Rise all freaking day, and I've been waiting till the podcast. I've not wanted to spoil it, so I've been waiting, and I got to see it.
All right.
Oh, that's my
Aw. Capcom presents.
I just got an important letter. It looks like we've got a rampage on our hands.
The hell is that?
It's a big boy.
I see that. That's a big boy.
It's been 50 years since the last calamity. That monster is known as Magnum Malo.
Magna Malo.
What they should call it is my new armor set.
Ooh.
You're done for! Have a taste of this! This is for my fellow hunters!
Monster Hunter Rise.
Shall we go?
Coming March 26, 2021 on the Nintendo Switch. So, when it comes to trailers and such, we have some questions about them that I'd like to ask. So first, do we think it was a good trailer? Did it make you excited for the game?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Are you going to be purchasing this game?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I would say that makes it a very successful trailer then. I definitely think I'm going to give it a like. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Good trailer then. Monster Hunter meh coming from Rose.
They need
Is
my
it-
money. They
Is
need
it
it
too
now.
late to take someone's head off? Because we
I
can
mean,
start.
we can add Rose's name to the head off list.
I'm not against this.
Poor Rose just comes in and immediately gets her head cut off.
Oh man. All right. So as a person, I will say I got into Monster Hunter with World.
Ooh.
So I'm late to the party. And I did try was it 4 Ultimate that was on Switch
Yes.
recently? Yeah. 4 Ultimate I was not as keen about. I tried it. It was like, all right. This looks like a really good combination, so I'm excited for it. It looks like it has elements of World while keeping some of the elements of the older games. So I'm all in for it.
Heck yeah. Rose said, hey, I just don't like Monster Hunter. Also, fuck you, Infu. JK. It's fair.
I started playing Monster Hunter back on the PSP. I started with Freedom, played Freedom Unite. I played almost every single one that's ever been made or released on in America. I bought a 3DS just to keep playing the series. I played the spin-off Monster Hunter Stories. I played other Monster Hunter spin-offs like mobile games and stuff like that they have had. And I love the series so much. There's so much to it. Like, it's amazing because like they have so much to it with just so little, if that makes sense. Like, it's a game about killing monsters and upgrading your stuff, but there's so much to it with just in that little confined formula they got. It's amazing. I don't know. I love it.
As someone that's never played a Monster Hunter game, if you had to tell me the game I should play first that would get me into it, what would that game be?
Monster Hunter World.
Yes. It is the new flagship title that came out for the current gen consoles. And as a person who got into it, it's so much fun. Everything new they added, and I've played with seasoned veterans who have also played like every game like Infu has, and they're all like, the quality of life changes are so good. that for them it's hard for them. Some of them have gone back to the older games, but it's that good that it's hard to go back.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say to give it a shot if you want
that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was gonna say the older ones are also so another reason I would recommend World to anyone who's new to the series or thinking about trying it versus the older ones. The older ones are very niche, and for the most part, the online almost requires you to like the older ones actually required you to be in the same room together to play together. They didn't have online to them.
Damn.
The 3DS versions did. The 3DS version did have online. But the older ones are so much more niche than World because World made a lot of changes that made it a lot more friendly for people who have never picked up and played. And you can really tell, like, if you play World and then go back and try and play the older ones, you can feel the style difference between them. It's so drastic that unless you've just been playing them through the years, or you really just want to start on the first one and work your way up like those before you did, I would 100% recommend everybody at least try World, at least if they have a copy of it, just because like it's so much different than the older series. But it's really weird because like it's so different, but at the same time it's the exact same Monster Hunter feel that everybody wanted. They made it so different while keeping it the same, and it's mind-blowing in that aspect. I love it.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
I'd like to segue real quick. Did y'all see that the Nintendo 3DS has been discontinued?
Yeah. I was actually just yesterday or the day before on PSN chat with my friends debating on if I should just buy a new one now, because I actually don't have one, and I'm like, maybe I should just buy it and start like going through the library before it gets too expensive to do.
Here's my question. When the Nintendo Switch was announced, it was said by Nintendo, that the Nintendo Switch and the 3DS could coexist. I don't think that held true at all. I think the Switch's popularity completely overtook any other console Nintendo had going. Because basically, to me at least, it's the best case scenario. Like, okay, you want to play it on your TV? Cool. You want to play it while you're on the go? Cool. I think it completely took out. Like, what? I don't know the last time I've heard a single thing about the 3DS. So.
Well, I would argue that it does hold true, and that's because of this exact thing I'm talking about, is that I know there are games that I'm only going to get on 3DS. So, and of course, it's the chance for Virtual Console down the line, but it does have a very strong, unique library. And just from the way that you play the games with the dual screens, the Switch can't necessarily replicate that. So I think there's still value in having a 3DS. Like, I think not coexisting would mean that you wouldn't use your 3DS at all. But I think it still very much has its own weight, you know?
I'd love to see sales on the 3DS or 2DS, as Rose says in the chat. But before the Switch release and after the Switch release, I feel like if it didn't go down, I would be heavily surprised. Like, I have to assume that took a good bit of chunks out of the sales.
It did. I've actually got my 3DS right here in my hand with my copy of Monster Hunter Stories and my Pokemon games and stuff like that. The 3DS, I can honestly say, I still like to pick up my 3DS and I like to play it. Like, there are times where I'm in the car and stuff like that, and like, I will want to take my 3DS over my Switch just because it's like, it's easier to carry around with you. And the games on the 3DS, like, they just kind of offer you an experience that you can't get on your Switch, as crazy as that sounds. Like, just how they work and stuff like that. Like, and I guess just the games themselves as well. Like, you know, you got the old Monster Hunter games, like I got Generations 4 Ultimate, then I've got Monster Hunter Stories and stuff like that, and then the older Pokemon games, and they have their own unique feel to them that the Switch can't replicate because of how the graphics are and how the games are and stuff. Them doing what they've done to the 3DS kind of hurt my soul a little bit, but I also kind of get it because I feel like at this point, everyone who realistically was wanting a 3DS to play already had one. Honestly speaking, they're not that expensive. So,
Yeah, you hear that, Helix? Anyone that truly wanted it already has it. You don't truly want it.
I've actually gone through two 3DSs that both have left this world for various reasons. So that's why I'm like, do I want a third one to have? Because like now, if it goes up in price because they get harder to find, I don't know. Then I lose out on a lot of games.
This is fair.
Okay, so if you do nothing else, at least pick you up a 3DS and copy of Monster Hunter Stories. At least, if nothing else, at least do that. Monster Hunter Stories. If you like Monster Hunter World and you like the Monster Hunter universe, at least get a copy of Monster Hunter Stories, because it's not like the other games. It's like they took Pokemon and they mixed it with Monster Hunter in the sense where you train your own monsters and stuff like that to fight others. And the story revolves around, instead of you being a hunter, they're like trainers or what. I forget the exact name they use in the game, but the game is absolutely entirely different. And I don't think you'd be disappointed if you did like Monster Hunter. I definitely think you should at least do that for yourself.
So it's funny that you say that, because the Monster Hunter Stories 2 trailer made me want 1, which is why I want to buy the 3DS.
If you do nothing else, at least do that. At least
it
do that
all
for
connects.
All right, so who would like to pick the next trailer we watch?
I saw earlier Johnson Coffee was very adamant about Virgil. So I think DMC5 should be next.
All right, we'll go with the chat then with Virgil. With Devil May Cry 5. Sounds like a good plan.
It's time to get motivated.
Heck yeah.
That day, if our positions were switched, would our fates be different? Would I have your life?
Would I have your life?
And you mine? You a demon?
It looks nice.
Oh, yes, it does.
Like, it really does actually look nice. I've also never played a Devil May Cry game. I do own the HD collection on the Xbox 360, though.
Only play 1 and 3. If you do.
Okay. What's wrong with 2?
Oh, so much.
Oh boy.
It's not that bad.
Rest in peace.
Shout out to YouTube for the copyright claim. Reminder that last week I did the same thing and I called a copyright claim, and we did legitimately get a copyright claim at that moment, so I'm good at nailing it. I know when YouTube's gonna hit me. Easy peasy. Devil May Cry 5.
Devil May Cry.
Special edition. Available digitally at launch. PS5.
Yeah.
Alright, so. Did we think it was a good trailer?
Yeah.
Oh god, yes.
Are you excited to play the game?
Yes.
Are you buying the game?
No, imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to play the game, but no, I'm not buying it.
Actually, that might be my scenario, believe it or not.
Oh boy, why?
Well, because it said that it was coming to PS5. Like, it only said PS5 at the end of it, and I don't plan on buying a PS5 for like eons. So
The DLC for the PS4 version is confirmed. Or it's also on Xbox. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If it comes to Xbox, then yes, I will get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
CJ said they did not see any difference from the DMC5 on the current gen.
Well, it's the same game. It's just Virgil's in it now.
Yeah.
So besides it just upscaling, I don't think it will change much.
I mean, that's fair. Virgil will be on every version, but apparently certain other things will only be on the PS4. I'd say PS4 and PS5 probably, because this was all promotion for the PS5.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd assume both in that scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if I can choose the next one,
All right.
I would like to go with Final Fantasy 16.
Sounds like a good plan.
Because, fun fact, the I think it's the combat director of DMC5 is actually doing this game as well.
Ooh.
So it's going to be a Final Fantasy that plays like DMC.
Very nice. Very nice.
Mm-hmm. So sort of kind of segues.
Exactly. Good way to think about it.
DMC is mega fan service for the ladies. For the men too.
Yeah.
Good job. Anyway.
You all know the target. Shiva's dominant. And only the dominant.
How do we even know the girl will be among us?
Our kind do not question orders, we follow them.
Squirtiness.
Sergeant, let's summon their icon.
Icon? That thing's a bloody mountain.
Felt good.
That's
Our
tough.
foe will not relinquish their mother crystal easily.
Aw.
This will be a bitter fight.
You should not be out of doors. We have discussed this. Come, Joshua. Your father will be expecting us.
I am Joshua's shield. I'm sworn to protect him.
What do you mean you refuse? Did you not pledge your sword to our cause?
What does it matter? It was the Dalmex who drove back the Crusaders in the Battle of the Twin Realms, was it not?
Without the blessing of the Mother Crystal, we cannot defend our realm from the spread of the Blight.
So, I sent in the Dragoons. Imperial Vipers. Do they really mean to invade us?
Just a little blood on you.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Duke's son.
The Phoenix.
Stop this!
Second icon of fire. But that's impossible. The legacy of the crystals. Has shaped our history. For long enough.
kill you. If it's the last thing I do.
Final Fantasy 16. PlayStation 5.
Nice.
Very nice. It is a console exclusive, so I assume before we even ask the question, that would alienate info from Final Fantasy 16.
For a long time, at least.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's timed exclusive, and it's also going to be on PC.
That makes sense. So, did you think it was a good trailer?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Are you excited to play Final Fantasy 16 when you're able to?
Yeah, definitely. I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. I love the Final Fantasy games with a passion.
And finally, will you be buying it?
Minute one.
Minute one. Fair.
So yeah, so as a huge fan, just some more insights. So I mentioned the DMC 5 combat director is going to be part of this game. Also, if you guys are familiar with or play Final Fantasy 14, which I am a longtime player, the co-directors of 14 are directing this game. So if you like the story for 14, this is going to also be fantastic. So a lot of very, very intriguing for me, and I'm so excited.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I look at these trailers and I think they're good trailers. I enjoy them, but I'm personally, I don't know what it'd take to make me buy a game for $60 day one.
70 now.
Ha ha ha! 70 fucking kiss my ass. $70. That just means it's gonna take longer to get down to my price point that I'm willing to pay. I personally feel like the most a game should cost that I'd be willing to pay for the best game, max price, $20. Most games, $5. Obviously, that's very unreasonable. That's not selfish consumer.
Right.
Obviously. But that's the price point in which I'd play games. I mean, 40 is also fair. I could see an argument for 40. 40 is what I grew up on. You could sway me to 40 on the right game. You're not swaying me to 60 or 70. That's just not happening.
Fair.
Your game's gonna have to earn me a lot of money to make that worth it. And I don't know how you manage that at all.
I've spent like on the upper end of like $120 before on some editions of games. So like if it's good, I don't have a problem dropping a few dollars here and a few dollars there.
Hey, it's fair.
I have a saying that Square Enix owns my wallet. They have their own direct link to my wallet. When they drop a game, they take out their money and just throw it at me, and I'm like, thank you. I won't go full price for a lot of things at this point, just because I don't have time to play everything. But when it comes to stuff like Final Fantasy, definitely, like I said, minute one, I have to have it, no matter the cost.
That's fair. That's very fair. I mean, hey.
Hell, I've with Kingdom Hearts, like right now, they have a new game coming out this month. I'm already planning to buy 3 different versions of the same game. And I know that sounds crazy, but like, it makes sense to me, and it's what makes me happy. So it is what it is.
Exactly. Do what makes you happy.
I've bought the same game several times across different platforms. I bought Stardew Valley 4 times. Bought Skyrim 3 or 4 times. So I mean, it's not impossible. I have done it. I bought several copies of the same game across many places.
So I should update, because on the podcast I've talked about multiple times how Stardew Valley is always this. it's a 50-50 chance in my mind whether I hate it or love it. But I've came to the conclusion how I can solve this without purchasing the game or pirating the game. I would see my thing with pirating, which, you know, clearly you should never pirate a game.
Yeah, we're not advocating Twitch.
Yeah, you know, I think if the game is no longer in circulation to buy, it's fair game. If it's still in circulation to buy legitimately through official sources, kind of shitty. Pretty shitty. But, you know.
Fair.
So I'd never like play Stardew Valley by pirate. But something you can do to help decide is I've come to the conclusion I should try a Harvest Moon game and see if I like that. I think that's the closest indicator of whether or not I will like Stardew Valley. Clearly, they're not the exact same, but they are similar. So I think it's as good of a chance as any to solve my 50-50.
I will say, as a person who has played some of the Harvest Moon games, to do your research, because I forget how many games back it happened, but a different company took over the games.
Yes.
And they're objectively worse.
Yes.
So I think they're not like something Mineral Town or something is the old studio doing the same type of game. It's just not called Harvest Moon.
Yep.
So yeah, just be aware.
I think it's like Story of Seasons now.
Yes, that's what it is. There you go.
It's only $15, not that much money. Not that much money to you. That's the thing. As I said earlier, all I do is stream on Twitch. I don't have a job. So, you know. $15, bit of money. Especially for a game on 50-50 on. As I said, $20 is generally my max. And that's on like an Elder Scrolls game that I know I'm gonna love. Or a Fallout game that I know I'm gonna love. You know.
Times is hard right now. Times is hard.
100%. Alright, so I'm gonna choose the Demon Souls remake, which, for backstory information, this is gonna be a PlayStation 5 launch title. You said top price is $20 for you, though. Yes, and I said most games are worth $5 to me. So, pitching 15 is, for a game I'm 50-50 on, is not quite the, yeah. So Demon Souls, PS5 launch title, and it will be PlayStation exclusive. It is not coming to PC, it is not coming to other consoles. That's the thing to know ahead of time. Which may take you in or out of the trailer. But this is the one I choose.
All right.
Soul of the lost withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. Soul of the lost
As it slowly breaks.
withdrawn from its vessel.
Or not. Or it was actually just frozen.
Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. So the world might be mended.
I personally have no plans right now to get a launch PS5.
Same.
But man, do I want to play this so bad.
Same.
I want to play this so fucking bad.
Looks great.
Oh my god, it looks fantastic. Well, not right now because it's lagging a little bit, but you know, like in
I
the
can't
game.
tell what's... I don't know if it's my computer causing the lag or the video causing the lag. I want to say my computer. I bet the video is actually not laggy at all. But I don't know why my computer would be lagging right now.
I also just want to make a comment. This is my favorite type of trailer. It's just gameplay.
Exactly.
Just, you know what it is.
You can sell people on gameplay better than you can on cinematic. Okay, yeah, I do think it's my PC. It's fair. It's fair, you know. It just be struggling a little bit. It's Firefox. I need to switch away from Firefox, unfortunately. It fixes an issue, but it causes an issue. We didn't really have this same issue with Chrome.
Sorry.
Damn. Yeah, I 100% agree that sometimes just showing gameplay, great way to win people over.
Philip.
And not like...
Yeah, Philip. 100%. Philip hates cinematic trailers passionately, so gameplay trailers is better for him. And it looks really nice. You know, speaking of character customization, since there's no vocals here, and we can just kind of free talk, you know what I want to see character customization do more often? I want more height and weight adjusters. I'm tired of being the height I am 5'4" in real life, but short people are not represented well in games.
True. Very true.
Whoever's playing this is really not good at this game.
You know, this is my problem with the trailer. They murked every single enemy up until this point and suddenly don't know how to dodge.
Could have been a different person.
True.
You know, I hear when fire's coming at you, you just run into it.
In Dark Souls, that's actually a thing you can indeed do.
You can?
Before we get too far away from it, just on the topic of the customization thing, like definitely, as a person of color, like skin tone options really, like you guys have to.
They're very poor.
We need better ones. We need better ones.
I mean, I'd argue, as someone that's dabbled in character customization a lot, like doing other races, I feel like they really want to put you in like a very, very stereotypical bubble with it. And it's rarely ever like representative of an average. I've always noticed that, and it's always like, come on.
I remember it was for Pokemon Sword and Shield that they hyped up like, oh yeah, you could like change your skin color and whatever, and I was like, oh sweet. And they're like, do you want to be light skin, dark skin, or black? And that's it. that's all you get.
Yeah.
And it's like 3 more shades of white, and I was like, okay. I mean, okay.
It's the bare minimum.
It's a AAA studio game, but fine.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It's not that hard to do. Come on. If you can listen, they've had games with a ton of different white people skin tones. Do you want to be super pale? Cool. Do you want to be somewhere in the middle between that and tan? They got like 10 options for you. You get to black though, you're lucky to have 2 options.
Honestly.
So yeah, that's definitely a rough thing. Alright, so we've wrapped around. Infu, it is your turn to pick between Star Wars Squadrons, Hunted CG Short, Hogwarts Legacy, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, Nowhere Left to Run teaser, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, and Monster Hunter Stories 2.
I have a feeling.
I think 3 of them have a good shot with Infu.
I want to see the Star Wars Squadron.
Yep, that was in my 3. I figured it'd either be the CG Short, Call of Duty, or Monster Hunters.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Star Wars, and I'm really excited for this game as well.
So keep in mind this is a CG short, not specifically a stereotypical trailer.
Okay.
All squadrons, on me. Hold formation. It's not over yet.
station is lost. Call off the attack.
Squadrons, disengage.
Well, at least someone knows how to follow orders.
Damn.
Yikes.
All fighters, return to the Overseer for extraction. Captain, come in. This is Titan 3. I'm pinned down.
Command, we still have ties out.
We're not handing the enemy one more destroyer, Captain. The Overseer is leaving. I'm not gonna make it. Thanks, Greg. I thought I was done for.
Get to the hangar, pilot.
All stations, light speed on my mark.
Ha! This is why you listen to people.
True.
Now you're all alone.
Instructions are important.
They are.
That's it. On your way.
Don't worry, it's all gonna be okay.
Bamboozled.
Bamboozled. Don't worry, you just gotta make a left turn.
Then a right, then an upturn.
Exactly. See you, Rose.
Thanks for hanging out.
Huh? It's going well for him.
War's over. Imp.
That ship took a lot of fucking beating.
Yes, it did. Wow.
And then conveniently, the moment the fight's done, then the ship dies.
Imagine doing all that and getting taken out by a rock.
I know, right? Hope he knows how to swim.
War's over, Imp.
Come in. Calling Titan Leader. Gray, do you read?
It's not over yet. Not for me.
Wars Squadrons. Launching October 2nd. Not far away.
Okay.
So what did that CG short do for you guys?
Made me want the game.
Personally, nothing.
I would agree with Helix. I'm not sure. Like, listen, I'm not gonna say it was a bad watch. They told a story. They accomplished that. I can appreciate it. It's better than most of the Star Wars movie that takes 3 movies to tell a story. So good on them. Applause for 6 minutes to tell a story. But other than that,
my question is, okay, is this a ship fighting game? Because if no, that's all I got from this.
That is the premise of Star Wars Squadrons. Yes, it is about the dogfighting side of Star Wars, like the space battles and the ship fights and stuff like that. That is the premise of it. I don't know what the actual story itself is going to entail, though. But that is the point of Squadrons. Yes.
Okay.
So, would you consider this a successful, not necessarily trailer, but video to promote the game? I'm gonna have to go with no.
As someone who is not a fan of Star Wars in any way, no hate is not for me. It did get me interested. I'll give it that. Not to buy it or play it, but it got me interested in the story of this. So it does have some success on me.
So this trailer was more so for the people who have seen the other trailers that they've released and was already excited about the game as it was. This is kind of like this is kind of their little sugar and spice to, just kind of add it in there to, make you just kind of, I guess, feel a little bit more hype. Like if you was to watch the official trailer and then watch this
on the side, yeah.
Yeah, if you watch the official trailer, this trailer here will make a whole lot more sense, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It does a lot more.
All right. What do you think, Wes? Should we play that trailer to give it a fair shot? Because if we're missing info, then I feel like it's not a fair comparison, but it's up to you.
Sure, I don't mind.
All right. Because I didn't know this is not the first trailer. I didn't know that. So
no, it is not. That was actually the third. There was a reveal trailer, and then there's this one here, which is the gameplay trailer. And then there's that one.
Got it. Okay.
Vanguard Squadron. Let's make history.
This is it, Titan Squadron. Everything we've done has led to this. Finish those Vanguard scum.
This is Star Wars Squadrons. Earn your wings in a single-player story spanning 2 factions.
All stations, fire on that ship!
And master multiplayer battles as a squadron of 5. With the option to play the entire game in VR. This is the definitive Star Wars pilot experience.
Come on, come on!
That's actually really interesting that you can play the whole thing in VR
Begin your career in a
from the go.
single-player story.
Welcome to Titan Squadron.
where you'll play as 2 combat pilots, flying for both the Empire and the New Republic. You'll experience this world through your cockpit. The instrumentation in front of you provides critical feedback about power management, targeting, and shields. With a squadron of diverse characters at your side, prove your skills on increasingly challenging missions.
Hello, Vanguard. Welcome to the Nadiri dockyards.
One of my spies has linked the attacks with the New Republic Starhawk project.
The story of the 2 pilots you play
Stick together.
will shape the balance of power in the galaxy.
Get ready.
Let him have it. To take the fight online, you'll need flight time with all 8 ships. Fighters are the most flexible and versatile, able to handle any situation. Interceptors are fast and highly maneuverable.
Let's get them.
Ideal for hunting down your opponent's starfighters.
That was kind of fun.
Support ships can keep allies safe and stocked up, as well as disrupting enemy fighters.
Light 'em up. Nice.
Bombers are the heavy hitters, able to deal devastating damage to enemy flagships and starfighters.
But if you've got a preferred component and need something customized, I'll take care of it.
Unlock everything you need to customize your pilot and starfighters simply by playing the game. From cosmetics to an arsenal of over 50 components that alter how your ships fly, fight, and survive.
They're on you. I'll deal with it.
You can dramatically change your loadout depending on your squadron's strategy.
Finally got him.
This will be critical in Star Wars Squadrons multiplayer modes. First up, dogfights. This is an all-out 5v5 battle.
Vanguard 5, that was the best.
Fine-tune your loadouts to work as a team.
Moving in on the enemy.
Utilize components like tractor beams, turrets, and mines to slow down your opponents or set up your squad mates for the kill.
Rebels unmarked.
For teams looking for an even greater challenge, it's time to prove yourself in Star Wars Squadron's signature mode, Fleet Battles. Fleet Battles are multi-stage conflicts. Whether playing solo or with friends, you'll have the option to compete against other players or AI as a squadron of 5.
Don't worry, I got him for you.
Meet your team in the social hub to solidify strategy, coordinate loadouts, and prepare for takeoff. First, push the front line by winning the dogfight in the center of the map. Next, attack or defend 2 medium-sized capital ships.
We've lost our capital ships.
And finally, the ultimate goal. Target and destroy the subsystems of your opponent's massive flagship and take it down.
Shields are disabled.
At each phase, your squadron either pushes the line forward or falls back to defend.
Keep our flagships safe.
It's your squadron's choice of how to play.
I'm hit.
Speedy, unrelenting assaults.
Stay together, strike quickly.
Stealth and subversion.
Jamming the enemy. Sensors can't spot you.
Or brutal bombardment.
That ship is vulnerable. Take your shot.
We need to hurry.
A unified squadron is the key to victory.
Making my attack run now.
Let's make this count.
This is Star Wars Squadrons. Join the galaxy's finest and make your mark.
You are the hope of this galaxy.
This made me want to play it 100 times more.
That's yeah, like I said, if you watch this and then if you've seen the other one first, then like you're not going to get that same feel. But if you've seen the other trailers first and then you see that, it's just that icing on top. It's just like, yes.
Yeah, because now it's like now you imagine yourself doing this, and it's like being in that situation. And
yep.
Okay, all right.
Immersion and everything. So like, And like, if you really want to go that far, the whole thing being in VR, just the whole 9 yards, you know, like if VR is your thing, I don't really like it myself, but like the fact that they have it's really cool, and it's just all around just really neat. I'm really excited for it.
Okay. I don't see this being a full price purchase for me ever, but maybe if I could split the price with someone, I might consider it. Like somehow just like let me borrow it for a little bit and then I don't know.
That's fair. Very fair.
I could see myself playing this. It looks fun.
I feel the exact opposite. Within a minute of this trailer, I'm like, okay, this is never a game I'd touch. The CG short at least told me a story. A complete story that I appreciated. But this one is just like, oh, I see the genre of game. That's fair. No disrespect. Don't think it's my cup of tea. I could pretty much immediately tell that. I think it looks good. I definitely say that. And, you know.
Coffee asks, how do you guys feel about it being in first person?
I want to say they'll probably have a toggle, because if it's going like, they actually have a game mode like this in Star Wars Battlefront 2, where it is space combat only. Like you are flying the ships the whole time. And in that, I'm pretty sure you can toggle first or third. So I would like to imagine that you can toggle it in that. But if it's first person only, it's not going to be a vibe killer. But the ships are kind of hard to control in first person, as weird as that sounds, just because, like, I guess you don't see the full surrounding. But, like, maybe that would be why they would lock it to first person, because of that immersive feeling of you actually being like, the person's behind you, you can't see them, what the fuck are you going to do, you know?
Yeah, I think it'd be more realistic that way.
And everyone would have that same disadvantage, so to speak. So, yeah, if that's the case, I agree. I think it'll be more interesting. Not more interesting, but it'll be interesting if you can get more immersed into it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
All right, so it is the chat's turn to pick between Hogwarts Legacy, Marvel Spider-Man, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, and Monster Hunter Stories 2.
Chat, what you got? We still awake?
Yeah, you gotta drown them in coffee. Exactly.
There you go. There you go.
You drown people in coffee. They're a little bit dead, just a little bit dead. But Monster Hunter. All right, we can do Monster Hunter.
She has chosen Monster Hunter.
All right, we got this. Capcom presents.
It's so cute.
I love it.
Agreed.
It's no mere coincidence that you were given Red's kinship stone, and now a Rathalos egg. This is destiny.
I'm so glad you're still alive. I thought I'd never see you again.
Aw.
Okay, pal, let's do this.
Hey, what's that? I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous, but it'll work out.
That's a hog.
Red? Moon's blessing emerge.
Quick, hurry! We don't know if it's the right monster. Our mission is to see if it truly has catastrophic power.
Rathalos are disappearing from their natural habitats. And Angela?
Monster Hunter Stories 2. Wings of Ruin.
Beautiful.
I will say, summer 2021, by the way. I will definitely say that for me, I think I liked this trailer better than the other Monster Hunter trailer. And this trailer makes me want to play the first one of this.
So, my immediate thought, I saw this originally announced, but watching it again, I was thinking about something I saw on Twitter earlier, which is this whole debate about if you guys have seen the whole thing about like, oh, like games like Among Us and Fall Guys are like the hottest games right now.
Yeah.
And this ongoing thing of graphics going stylized versus like realistic. And how I'm like, yeah, a game like this appeals to me 1,000,000 times more than like a hyper realistic game does. And it's just interesting.
I think, to me, what makes the most sense is a mixture of both. I don't think anybody, in my opinion, should want just one or just the other. I think in an ideal, variety is the spice of life. I want things like this just as much as I want something more like Demon Souls, for example, which are not really hyper-realistic either. But, you know, stuff like that. I enjoy a nice variety between Demon Souls and Monster Hunter Stories 2, which are very widely different.
True.
I think stuff like that is really good. And I think that, to me, is the ideal mix. I don't think I'd really pick a side in this debate. I think it's okay to dislike one if you want to dislike one, but I don't think you should not play it because it's not hyper-realistic or because it looks realistic. You know?
Yeah, definitely lends itself to a whole different talk, but I don't know, I'm just thinking like, for as much, you know, the Switch already doesn't have as much, like it doesn't compare to the other next gen consoles, but something like this is super simple and it's like, I love it and I want to give you money for it.
That's the thing. The Nintendo Switch is not competition for the Xbox and PlayStation. It never was. And that's not a bad thing. Nintendo has prided itself on being the third person in the race that's not actively trying to do the same thing the other two are. They do different stuff. That's what they do. That's what makes them special.
True.
So, I think that should just be embraced.
But to me, it is a competition for my potential $60.
This is true.
Of what are you putting out?
This is true.
So,
but I mean, at the same time, like, if it's a console game, it's like, oh, well, what were we talking about earlier? Like, whatever game that was exclusive to a console, it's like, oh, but it'll go over eventually. I feel like Nintendo, not really the super same thing. How many Nintendo games are still just locked down to Nintendo?
Very true.
They lock that shit tight.
Down.
Yeah, you don't break that door. They have that like Gatling laser. They don't.
Very true.
So yeah, I definitely think Nintendo has that going for them in that way. All right, so it is your turn to pick between Hogwarts Legacy, Marvel Spider-Man, and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War.
Okay, I am gonna go with Call of Duty.
Nice.
Specifically because I am not much of a Call of Duty fan, but this trailer makes me want the game.
Ooh.
So
here, my Call of Duty experience, I've said it a lot of times on the podcast before. The only Call of Duty I've played is Call of Duty Black Ops 1 on the Nintendo Wii.
Ooh.
That's it.
My first experience of Call of Duty was Modern Warfare 1 on the Wii.
Kasim is out of the picture.
That was fun.
Nice.
How long before we get arrived?
I love that.
The team arrived in Turkey a few hours ago. They should be in position shortly.
I was very surprised that Info did not immediately pick this trailer.
My opinion of Call of Duty has changed a little bit.
Oh.
Airfield's just up ahead. Let's go find this shithead.
Priority is to ID a rush. Things go hard.
So you got last names as you point at people? Your allies? Something I'm noticing immediately.
Until you shoot them anyway and have to restart the mission.
I mean, hey. In real life, you can't just shoot your friends.
Check it out.
It's highly suggested that you don't. It's not allowed.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, you can.
You can.
I mean, you can do whatever you want, just there may be consequences. It's like saying things. You can say whatever you want. That doesn't mean there's no consequences.
I can't make out his face yet. I don't want
The fuck?
to. Just iced everyone in
Damn.
the truck.
Pop, pop.
That's gotta be a rush.
Hold fire. We need a positive ID. That's our man. Take him out.
He did not take any time to actually look at that shot. Well, you missed him because you didn't aim.
Imagine that's how you go out. You're just having a normal conversation with someone. I use normal loosely.
Loosely.
Because they're probably talking about like drug trades or something. And all of a sudden it's just like, oh, there's a bullet in my head. Okay. Well,
this whole scenario is that person's fault. Literally, all they did. It's like they grabbed the sniper and they're like, oh, boom, immediately. They didn't even look down the sight. Come on. That wasn't super time critical like that. You had a few seconds to aim. You could have hit that shot.
As fast as those trucks are going, I somehow fail to believe this RC is faster
exactly.
than they are.
I had the same thought. I was about to say that. This
I also
RC
just
is
can't
moving.
fathom an RC vehicle being any realistic form of combat in this scenario.
We'll have the explosives on it, which is the point.
It is?
Yeah.
I agree, but...
But yeah, for the RC car to catch up to a plane, I understand suspending your belief, but damn.
And this, kids, is why you don't do drugs. November 13th.
Digital copy and get early access to the open beta and instant access to the Woods Operator Pack in Modern Warfare and Warzone.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious in how your opinion has shifted, Info.
Well, I've now actually played it. I played the alpha that was out Friday. The guns are good. The feel of it's okay. I'm not a big fan of the maps, and it's just I don't. My opinion of it is like I wouldn't say it's went really down or up by a lot. It's just I'm now leaning more towards I don't really care about getting it. I mean, I didn't really care before, but like now it's like I was thinking about getting it, but now it's like I don't really even want it.
Fair. Yeah, for me, I
want
know
it for the campaign.
I'm not gonna buy it, but I like the trailer. It was a nice trailer.
I've never been much of a... I don't think I've played any Call of Duty campaign, honestly. This makes me want to play the campaign. It looks like a lot of fun. I got vibes of like Fast and Furious movies from this.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah. And I already heard zombies is confirmed, and I love zombies, so I'm like, Usually, like if I play a COD, I have to have at least 2 out of the 3 things that I care about. And sometimes it's multiplayer if I know a lot of people are playing it. But for me, I have campaign and zombies. I'm like, I'm good. I can do this.
Heck yeah. For me, I'll say it again. I always feel like Call of Duty games having zombies is just a needed thing. I think it only adds sales.
Agreed.
So, I will pick Hogwarts Legacy to watch, and then by default, we'll watch the last gaming trailer.
Nice.
So, makes sense. It all makes sense. I'm very curious to see this. I've seen absolutely nothing of it.
Really? Okay.
I know it's supposed to be, in theory, what I want, but will it actually be what I want?
Magic, both beautiful and powerful, binds together our long history. That common bond we share is the legacy of Hogwarts. Now it is time to add your own story to these hallowed halls and, quite possibly, shape the future of the wizarding world. Every corridor, every portrait, every stone in this castle tells the story of witches and wizards who came before. Here you will meet lifelong friends and grow into your own magical abilities in the classrooms of the world's most talented professors. And while your journey begins at Hogwarts, brewing potions, taming fantastic beasts, and mastering spells, there is a larger world beyond these walls. A world filled with dangers you can't yet imagine. An ancient knowledge long gone from this world. That strange and mysterious talent you possess may be the key to unlocking this dormant power. Your potential is limitless. But what form will it take? The journey ahead will reveal what you stand for. The choices you make now will define the legacy of Hogwarts.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that trailer, honestly. I'm not gonna say it was a bad trailer. But as someone that enjoys the Harry Potter movies, the books, you know, I enjoy Harry Potter. I find it hilarious that we're promoting this as a Harry Potter game. But not really. Takes place in the world, sure.
Right.
Takes place, you'd assume, in the same universe. A long time before.
I heard somewhere, don't quote me on this, but that it takes place either 50 or 100 years before Harry even enters Hogwarts, so it has nothing to do with him.
Exactly. It's Hogwarts Legacy. I feel like... I don't know. I feel like it taking place in the 1800s. I get it. I get why they're making it. I really wanted an RPG Harry Potter game, but this is not that. So, unless it turns out to be a really good game, not buying it.
Interesting.
I plan on getting a copy of all the books because I don't own them. But as far as the games go, I think the only real Harry Potter game that I really want is like one where you create your own wizard and it takes place during the same time period as the actual Harry Potter games and stuff like that.
Exactly. His name is not in the title. It is Hogwarts Legacy, but at the same time, and that's a confusion I had as well. But at the same time, the franchise is Harry Potter. The franchise is not Hogwarts.
True.
So, what I wanted was a Harry Potter RPG. I'm not looking for a Hogwarts RPG. There's a difference. And unless I get information from a later trailer that can prove me wrong, I do not think this is what I'm looking for either. And by them releasing this, I feel like I can confidently say what I want will never happen. Officially. So, that's fair. I love how you gotta promote your movies. You gotta talk about, oh, Fantastic Beasts! Wink, wink. Okay. Yes, they so. Yeah, I'm not really sold. I wanted to be, but nah, not really. All right. So,
just if I can interject. So first of all, I've seen some feedback where it's unclear if this is a sort of RPG, if it's an MMO. Are you playing with other students? Can't really tell from this trailer, so definitely waiting for more stuff. I also am with you in that I've always wanted a Harry Potter RPG. And the trailer looks fantastic. No pun intended. But I don't know if this is what I want either. And I'm just going to add that all of this is moot because I don't want to support J.K. Rowling in any way. If you know why, then 100%. You know why, but we're not going to discuss that. So if I do end up getting this game, it's either going to be secondhand or other means, but
yeah, that's also adding to why I'm not really super excited for it as well. Without actually getting into it, yeah, I definitely say that has a factor in why you know.
If you don't know, Google it, kids.
Yeah, if you don't know, Google it. And you ain't the only one in that franchise, so just keep that in mind. All right, so Marvel's Spider-Man.
Last but not least.
Last but not least, with the gameplay. Wait, I was half paying attention. Did that opening thing show the fucking bees? Or am I crazy?
The what?
I swore I just saw the bees from the Bees movie. I'm gonna assume I'm crazy, and that's not what I seen.
I'm gonna say you are.
I agree. I wasn't specifically looking at it.
I'm late for Mom's rally. Subway card. Check. You got the house key? Yeah, I got it. Come on! We're gonna be late! Hey! Dude, I am so filling your suit with snow. Are you still wearing your suit?
Yeah, you know, just in case.
It's gonna be fine.
It's all gonna be okay.
See, this is my favorite part of living in Harlem. Pop-up street fair, best food in the city, awesome music.
Man, this would be great for the last beat I was working on. I should get back into mixing.
Yeah, it's been a while.
What do you think about Rio Morales? You gonna vote for her?
It's still hard to think of Mom as a politician. She's been a teacher my whole life.
Similar skill sets, right? Telling people, educating them, making sure they don't throw things at each other.
Hi, I'm Brian Horton, Creative Director at Insomniac Games.
Hello,
We're excited to show you this first look at gameplay from Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. Our story picks up 1 year after the events of the first game, and we find Miles' new home, Harlem, is in danger. Trouble brews while Miles' mom, Rio Morales, leads an election rally. A war between the devious energy corporation Roxxon and the Underground. A high-tech criminal army led by the Tinkerer starts to break out. In this gameplay sequence, captured on PlayStation 5 hardware, the Underground attacks Roxxon, sending the rally into chaos in a fight that spills onto the Braithwaite Bridge, where the Underground tries to steal Roxxon's experimental energy source, Newform. Let's take a look.
Go, go, go! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Let's not shoot each other, all right?
We're after the new form. Ignore everything else. Get rid of him. Then grab as much as you can carry.
Rub some dirt in it, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Keep him busy.
The bridge is coming down. I have to stop this.
What a punch. You know, I'm gonna be honest. It doesn't take much. I'd totally play this game.
True.
Spider-Man games are lit.
People are trapped over there. I have to push past these guys. Where is he?
I don't know if you guys are well versed in Spider-Man lore, but does anyone know if this villain is like an established like canon villain for Miles, or?
I feel like I've heard of the Tinkerer before, but definitely not in the Spider-Man universe, so we can look into the Tinkerer after the gameplay demo.
Okay.
See a backstory. But I don't know much about Miles as Spider-Man at all.
If anyone in chat knows as well, let us know.
The bus! Everybody get out! Don't worry, I got you!
Thank you.
Man! Those people! They're trapped! I've got an idea!
When in doubt, just make a web bridge.
I need something they can cross!
It works, it works.
Exactly.
I can stop this!
Oh boy. The power.
Yeah.
The power of Spider-Man.
Be yourself.
I would definitely say, good trailer. I'd definitely say, as I said, a Spider-Man game is not a hard thing to sell me on. And
True.
everything they showed me looked good. So, easy game that I'll eventually own.
Is it Spider-Man? Does it look sick? Give me.
Exactly. Do you have Spider-Man? Does he do Spider-Man things? Perfect. We're good. Does he actually have a personality outside of being Spider-Man? Because that's the thing not all Spider-Man games do. So,
True.
or at least used to. So, you know, that's the only added benefit. Actually establish who the person is behind it and not just him in the suit. You know?
Very true. Very true.
I can always appreciate that. Helps add a good story to it that's not just the story of what Spider-Man's fighting today.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel, Info? Who is currently muted. And, oh, he actually was away 7 minutes ago, so he may not be here. Fair. Alright, Helix, how do you feel?
I love it. Like, what else is there really to say? My problem has less to do with the trailer as it does with the situation with the game itself. Where they're saying it's not a full game, but it's gonna be kind of like I guess it's more akin to like a DLC story for this, because it's if I remember correctly, it's that the game itself is $50 as opposed to the full price $70, but it's a shorter experience. I don't think they said how many hours it is.
I have no idea.
But I'm a little bit more concerned about that, because I'm like, I want it, I do, but I also don't want to pay full price for a, you know, potentially like 10 to 20 hour experience, and then like that's it. So I'm cautious about this.
Also, as you said that, I finally figured out what's happening. My assumptions were all wrong. It has nothing to do with Firefox or my memory.
Oh.
Discord is spiking my CPU. I have no idea why. Discord is legit using 30 to 33% of my CPU, and it keeps spiking. That's what's doing it. I have to assume it's the screen share. Whatever they've updated on it has completely fucked it. Because it only starts happening when I do screen share.
Right.
I have no idea why that's a thing. Fair?
Yeah. I mentioned before, I'm not much of a Discord person, so...
Let's test the theory. So I stopped streaming.
Okay.
You wanna know how much that CPU drop was? Immediately?
What?
30%. That's a 30% CPU usage drop.
Yikes.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Well, I think understandably, I'm not going to share the screen anymore.
Right, that's fair. You can leave it off.
We don't really have a video that we have to watch. The Xbox Series S, you can pretty much say the details of that. We could actually watch it together if we needed to. It's fine. But, you know.
Yeah, we can talk it out.
Yeah. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
So, alright. Fixing that problem. Alright, so where to begin with the console stuff? I guess while Info's away still, assuming he's still away, we can just start throwing out some of the softer balls here with this stuff. So,
okay.
Obviously PS5 since the last episode, you know. They've done their price thing, which I think the first thing we should talk about with that is the pre-orders, which... This is not a Sony exclusive problem, by the way, but people have highlighted it more with Sony, at least early on, but I think it's definitely a both console issue that pre-orders are high demand, super high demand, and both sides are struggling to fill these high demands.
It is not necessarily a Sony problem. The only thing about Sony is that they did explicitly say that we would have advance notice about the pre-orders, and basically just sprung it on us less than 24 hours in advance.
This is
which
true.
A lot of people are upset about.
Exactly. If you say you're gonna do something, do it. Don't be like, oh, hey, we're gonna give you a good notice. You know, we're gonna treat y'all right, and then like down the road, oh yeah, but in a day, you know, as you do, you know, why not?
Yeah.
So yeah, the pre-orders for both PS5 and Xbox are, whew, they're going crazy. Where do you side when it comes to Sony? Oh, that's right, Tinkerer. Yeah. I completely forgot about Tinkerer.
Oh, okay. I've actually never watched Homecoming, so that's why I wouldn't know.
I watched Homecoming. I don't remember him. All right, let's see. So, the Tinkerer. Apparently, first appearance in The Amazing Spider-Man #2 in May of 1963. Made his cinematic debut in Spider-Man Homecoming, as he said. I do not remember this at all. Let's see here. So, where would I have seen him before? Cause I swear I've seen him. Let's see. A bunch of games. Generally, it's a male, from what I'm seeing, or at least the original was a male.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't it a female in the?
It is a female in the game, so they did change that. It does appear like it is like a legitimate. His name was Phineas Mason. That's who the Tinkerer was. Tinkerer is known to have created a suit for Mysterio.
Oh.
He was hired by the Kingpin to rebuild the Spider-Mobile to destroy Spider-Man. He designed Rocket Racer's rocket-powered skateboard.
He sure do be tinkering.
Yeah, he do be tinkering, for sure. Alright, so... I still want to know where I heard of him from. Cause none of the things I'm seeing... I guess Homecoming? Okay, I have to... Let's see. Tinkerer, Spider-Man Homecoming. I do not remember this, so what does Google say? There's no video of like his scenes in the movie, so I have no idea what it's talking about. I have no idea.
Time to rewatch.
Time to rewatch the whole movie.
For me, it's watch for the first time, but time to watch.
Time to watch the whole movie on stream.
Yeah.
See how long before this stream gets shut down? I feel like I'm definitely between PS5 and Xbox. Now, this will be a later discussion when Info's here, but the debate has gotten spicier for sure. But a week ago I leaned PS5 for sure.
Okay.
So we got the pre-orders going on. They did actually apologize for the pre-orders that could have been smoother. They did truly apologize for that. Our bad, guys. Don't know how that mistake could have happened. I'm sorry.
It's not like we had this plan for weeks.
Or months. Who knows? We did learn from a Sony boss that 99% of PS4 games will work on the PS5. Now, here's the thing with that. Because people have asked what's with the 1%. What it means. Basically, any game you put into the from the PS4 to PS5 will work. But they say 99%. That way, if there is some obscure title that maybe doesn't work, they're covered. They can't be sued.
True.
That's why they say 99%. That way, if you find a couple games that's like, oh, hey, Sony, you know what they say? You're a liar. They're like, oh, we said 99%? That falls in the 1%.
Yeah, the one person who like statistics it out and be like, actually, it's 89.73% of games work. So
yeah, pretty much. But for the most part, it will be backwards compatible with the PS4, which, you know, I think it's only a good thing. I mean, that's only a good thing to have for your PS5 is backwards compatibility with the previous console for sure.
True.
So we do know, we did learn since the last episode that the PS5 will be $499, or there is a digital edition that removes the disc from the equation that will be $100 cheaper at $399.99, of course, for both.
Mm-hmm.
Which I forget what the price for the Xbox was. I forget, it's been over a week now. It was very similar. You know, I think the cheapest one was the Xbox Series S. I think that was $299.
Right.
So if you want to go truly cheapest, Xbox Series S could be your cup of tea. Definitely won't be the option I go with. I also do not plan on... I don't know. I'm conflicted. I was gonna say I wasn't gonna go with the digital edition for the PS5, but while I do like having discs, it's just, how long are you gonna hold on to the past for? Discs are gonna go away. That is inevitable.
Right.
So are you really gonna pay $100 more? Which, to be fair, if you have the money to buy a console, $100 may or may not be a lot to you.
Mm-hmm.
We've also discussed that on the podcast, that, you know, if Sony or Microsoft with $100 more than the other, if that's truly a big deal to you, maybe you should consider not buying a console at that time. But
very true.
I don't know. I feel like paying $100 more for a concept that's dying, because no matter what, we all know discs are going to go away and it's going to go digital only eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to happen sooner than later. So, I don't know. I don't know which version I'd get.
Personally, I've basically outgrown discs. I do still have, for every time I catch discount sales at like GameStop or something, but I am basically all digital now. I don't like the idea of potentially losing games. Like, for example, I'm on my second Switch because I lost my first one, which had like 6 different games in it. So I'm like, okay, cool, those are gone forever. That's a feeling I just don't want anymore. I'd rather just get a new one and be like, all right, all my stuff is here, just re-download and keep it moving. That being said, I do wish there was no need for a split. We mentioned this earlier, just taking options away is never a good thing. But if I'm not gonna pay $100 more for something I already don't feel like I need.
Agreed.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's silly to split the versions up, because now it lends it to situations where if you have a disc version of a game, you can't upgrade it to PS5 because now you don't have the digital, and it just creates more hassle. And I don't like the practice of it.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we know that November 12th, that is when it will be coming to us, the PS5 and the PS5 Digital Edition.
Yes.
We also did learn that they did make it official in the last week that the PlayStation 5 will not natively support PS1, PS2, or PS3. You know? Mm-hmm. They were quoted saying, when we've dabbled with backwards compatibility, I can say it is one of those features that is much requested, but not actually used.
Mm-hmm.
You know? He commented at the end of it, these games look ancient. Why wouldn't anyone want to play? Why would anyone want to play these ancient games? They look so outdated. Here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing. Name the last Sony console that had proper backwards compatibility that justify that statement.
Exactly.
Like, hey, we've half-assed tried this, and nobody liked our half-assed try. So we're going to say fuck it and not do it at all.
Yeah.
And then we're going to come up with excuses why we're not going to do it. Nah, bruh. You gotta give it a full-on chance first.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just look at a drink and be like, oh, it smells bad, I'm not going to drink it, and then be like, oh, it tastes terrible. Why would anyone why would anyone want to taste this? It tastes terrible.
Great analogy. And you can say stuff like, okay, well, maybe the sales for the PlayStation Now or the PS3 or PS2 on PS4 games aren't doing so well. And it's like, well, yeah, because it's such a limited library. I have a bunch of games I would love to play. You know, I still want to play like Final Fantasy 13 on PS4 and there's no port for that or anything like that. Like, I have stuff I want. It's just I don't have options to play them. And
yeah, that's the thing. That's the flaw also with their idea of backwards compatibility. People don't want backwards compatibility for the top 20% of games in that console. They want to play every single fucking game on that console. That's what they mean by backwards compatibility, not, oh, big franchise, big names only. No, they mean every single game. Like, obviously, if a couple can't work, I think people can be understanding of it. If a couple just can't work, sure. Like, if legitimately 99% of PS4 games work, perfect. You can't always get 100% in life. But, welcome back. But, you know, it'd be what it be. I hope that
it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully, someone will smack some sense into them and they can realize, oh, hey, we should actually give it an actual try. Instead of just saying, nah.
Yeah, well, strong feelings that won't happen. Just because if people will still buy the consoles, will still buy the products, so why do they need to improve them, you know?
Pretty much.
It's an argument that goes back and forth in anything, with anything in gaming. It's like, this is a shitty practice. It's like, yeah, well, they're getting your money whether they do it correctly or not, so.
Pretty much. So,
why not cut the corners? I'm sorry.
We also know it's going to come with the DualSense wireless controller, the Pulse 3D wireless headset, HD camera, media remote, and a DualSense charging station. Launch games: Astro's Playroom, Demon Souls, Destruction All-Stars, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, and Sackboy: A Big Adventure. PS Plus subscribers can get digital access to a library of select PS4 games, which, as we just covered, not the same.
Not the same. However, I will say that lineup is incredible.
It is.
For people who have not already been on PlayStation.
It is.
And it's such a good direction for PlayStation Plus.
I 100% agree. I watched the trailer in Just Chatting a couple days ago. And it is an impressive lineup of games. And I think the thing is, like, they're not catering to people that played PS4 games. They're catering to people that may have done Xbox last gen, coming over to PlayStation, or new gamers in general.
Yes.
That's what they're targeting with that. Not people that, like, oh, I owned a PS4, I played all these games, why would I have this?
Yeah.
You're not the demo, man.
I think literally the whole lineup, I was like, oh, I have that, I beat that, I have that.
But it's like, okay, impressive game, impressive game, impressive. Impressive.
Banger after banger.
Yeah, you know. And I think that's a good way to go about it.
Definitely.
They did say that there will be more PlayStation 5 units available than the PS4, which, you know, I think that's smart. I think that's very smart, you know.
Definitely.
Let's see. I think that's all the PlayStation news. So we know that Xbox Series S game sizes will be approximately 30% smaller than on the Series X. That's an interesting note to me, you know?
Yeah. Definitely. Do you know exactly what it is with the S? I forget. Is it that it doesn't play all of the X games or something like that? Like, what was the?
Let me get a comparison. Let me get a comparison article. All right.
I know that was a thing. It's way cheaper, but it doesn't. It's also less powerful.
All right. Full specs. Xbox Series X, custom AMD Zen 2, 8-core, 3.8 gigahertz compared to, and 3.6 gigahertz with SMT. The Series S, same, custom AMD Zen 2 with an 8-core, 3.6, which is 3.4 gigahertz with SMT.
Oh.
We lost info. He will be away from the show. I need to fix the layout. Rip. Alright. Let's see if I can quickly fix the layout.
No worries.
Yeah. It happens.
Doing it live, baby.
Doing it live because you have no other option. Alright. Don't worry, I'm 1/2 done. 1/2 done, 1/2 to go. Doing it live. Doing it nice. Beautiful enough. Doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be there. Alright, so. As I was saying, GPU, same custom RDNA 2. 12.15 teraflops on the Series X compared to 4 teraflops on the Xbox Series S. 52 CU at 1.825 gigahertz on the X, with 20 CU at 1.565 gigahertz. RAM 16 at 320-bit versus 10 gigabytes on the S. Storage 1 terabyte versus 512 gigabytes. Physical media, you can have a 4K UHD Blu-ray drive versus digital only. Output resolution 4K at 60 versus 1440 at 60 with upscaling. So, to sum that up, Xbox Series S has a much beefier graphics card. The Xbox Series S has less RAM and a smaller SSD. And the Xbox Series S does not have a disk drive. So it's a weaker and not as inclusive console.
Yeah. I guess the point being it's consumer friendly. If you want a console but just want to pay as little as possible for the next gen, there you go. But doesn't seem worth to me.
I was gonna wait for Info to come back so we could talk about this, but since he's gone for the night, I guess we can just head right into it. The thing that fucking blew my mind, like, cause as I said earlier, last week I was completely on the PS5 bandwagon. I love PlayStation. The exclusives are very good, but holy shit, I think we just got dealt a big blow over on the Sony camp with the Xbox Bethesda dealio. Because here's the thing. If they make that exclusive to Xbox, fuck. Obviously, it'd be Xbox and PC, but fuck, dude. That's a big blow. That is a big ass blow.
Definitely.
I've put so many hours into Fallout, Elder Scrolls. I enjoyed Dishonored. Fuck, dude. That's massive.
Now.
Yeah.
Objectively, it is massive. It's a lot of franchises like Doom, Elder Scrolls, everything.
Yep.
That's big. Personally, I haven't really played Bethesda games until Fallout 76. And we don't have to go into detail of how much they fucked that up. So I'm just like, y'all could take them. But objectively, it's a huge get, and not for nothing. That's what Microsoft/Xbox needs to be doing, is trying to find these companies and.
Because let's be honest, their exclusives last gen was ass. It was not good.
The only thing Xbox has it going for it again that's a great thing is that they have the crossplay with PC for most of their games. True. And that's a really, really big thing to people.
Very true.
I'm of the opinion that exclusivity is horrible for gaming. I think everyone should be able to play everything because that's just what we want, is to just have fun and experiences. So that being said, this is huge for Xbox, definitely.
100%. And it's ironic because another article I have said that Xbox Series X is not reliant on massive exclusives this year. I believe that. Not this year. Fucking going forward, though, with that Bethesda deal. Uh-huh. Yeah, we'll see about that.
It's like you could say that, but then Sony put out that showcase and every game was a banger. So it's very hard to say that they don't need that this year, because it's like,
I agree.
And I'm not an Xbox person, but I've watched every conference they put out this year, and every time I'm just like, whatever. So,
like, listen, the reason they lost last gen to me was because when I had an Xbox 360 and not a PS3, and I felt bad that I missed out on games I wanted to play, a lot of games I wanted to play, and that's why I went PS4. I went PS4. There's no game I feel I missed on the last gen of Xbox. The fact they're not worrying about exclusives when they said that was before they acquired Bethesda. Dude, listen, that's why you lost to me. So your opinion should probably change if you ever want me to go back to Xbox. Because Sony just has the games exclusive that I want to play.
Definitely.
It's really hard to sway me the other way, especially last gen. There's just nothing they had
at all.
Like, I couldn't even name one.
Yeah,
because I'm not a multiplayer shooter person, and that's what their exclusives mostly are, multiplayer shooters, if not shooters. That's fine. Not my genre. I like story-based games, action and adventure games. I like that kind of thing. A story is wonderful to me in a game. And Sony's exclusives nail it. So,
and then Xbox is like, another strong thing they had for going for it was the Game Pass. And now Sony says, hey, you were on Xbox last gen, join us, and day one you get every banger game that you missed on PS4 immediately. And it's like, that's a good deal. That's a really good deal.
It is. And keep in mind with the Xbox Game Pass doubling their price.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that. So that's...
Yeah, they're doubling the price of the Xbox Game Pass.
I don't know.
Yeah, they be making some sketchy moves.
Because it's like, you say, fine, we don't have to focus on exclusives this year, but then what are you focusing on? Because Sony has you beat in almost everything right now. So I don't know. I don't know if that crossplay is strong enough.
Agreed.
It's really good. It's very, very important to people, especially with the age of PCs. Like, more and more people are getting into it, but I don't know.
And I mean, my thing is, I don't know how much the Xbox Pass is, but to double it, let's see. Let me get the article back up. We had it up last week. Let's see. It's for PC, by the way, that they're doubling the price. I did not specify that. That also changes what I just said. But for PC it costs $4.99, and they actually, excuse me, I said double. It's double and a penny. It's $9.99 going forward when they do that on September 17th, which already has passed. So, you know, they went from $4.99 to $5.99, which double and a penny. You know. I mean, making moves like that, you know? I'm just not quite the move I think I'd be making. My prediction is Sony wins next gen as well when it comes to Sony versus Xbox. That's my prediction. What do you think?
Because again, it's in terms of the exclusive games, yes, absolutely,
yes.
But it's going to matter, if not right now, at some point down the line. The crossplay and the PC gaming. I know they just recently put out the or starting up the PS studios, because there's going to be games that are going to be on PC. It's gonna matter more and more.
Yep.
Like just recently, they had the whole thing with the Fortnite crossplay that Sony was the only one who was like not with it. I don't know if they changed it. But people are seeing stuff like that, and people who are on PC or don't believe in the console wars anymore are like, well, even if I don't have an Xbox, I can still play Xbox games. So what do you got?
100%.
So I hope that they do have a strategy for that.
Mm-hmm.
But if their strategy is also just put out exclusives, you want to play these games, get this console. Say whatever you want. It works for Nintendo. Nintendo don't care about none of this. Nintendo doesn't care about none of this, and they make their money. So
Maroon Blade with the 12-person raid. I appreciate you. Talked with you a little bit yesterday on Pat's stream.
Welcome, Raiders.
Welcome, welcome. Hope all of you are doing lovely.
We
were just discussing the consoles and how that's been going, how we feel about it. You know. Yeah, I'm just really struggling to see how the PS5 would, as you said, well, it's not 100% better. I think if you're like me and you're just looking at it from an exclusive standpoint, they need to do more than Bethesda, but Bethesda's a great step for Microsoft to be like, oh fuck, I'm actually missing I'm actually gonna miss things if I go PS5 and well, it'd come out on PC. I just buy it on PC. But if I didn't do PC, I'd be missing out on Bethesda games. And they're not gonna remove it from PC. That would be suicide. At least for like a Fallout or Elder Scrolls, there's no way they'd make it like Xbox console exclusive.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
You know, well, it's definitely a blow. I can't play those games on the PS5, assuming. I know like Deathloop from Bethesda is still going to be PS5, but after that, who knows what is to come of that. So it's fair. Very fair. So, we have a few more topics for the night.
Okay.
We have PepsiCo, who is launching a drink to aid sleep as consumers struggle with stress. You know, before we even talk about this drink, you know what would help you drift off to sleep? Not drinking a Pepsi as you're trying to go to bed. That would help you.
Hard to argue with that, yeah.
That's the first step. What they should actually say first is, hey, do you need help sleeping? Stop drinking our beverage before you go to bed. Thank you.
Exactly.
But no.
Fix the problem that is already there.
Instead, they'd like to make some more money, and they have a latest drink called Drift Well, pitching itself as a way to combat the problem. Pepsi employees came up with an idea to help consumers de-stress and relax before bed as part of an internal competition started last year. They're not going to say that it reduces profits. Exactly. So this concept had won, and the beverage giant went to work to make it a reality. They're going to launch this at a time when there's more consumer interest than there previously was, given everything that's going on from a macro perspective. The enhanced drink, water drink, contains 200 milligrams of L-theanine, an amino acid that's found in green and black teas and some mushrooms. A few studies have suggested that the ingredient can improve sleep quality and can help reduce the physical symptoms of stress. From a scientific and regulatory perspective, we feel really good about making that claim around L-theanine. Specifically, we have safety and clinical data to prove that it works. Driftwell also contains 10% of the recommended daily value of magnesium. The drink comes in 7.5-ounce mini cans in just one flavor, blackberry lavender. And according to this person, it's the perfect size for hydrating before bedtime without requiring another trip to the bathroom. So
I don't know, something about the mushrooms. I'm just like, you're gonna give me shrooms to go to sleep?
You gonna get me high first? That's what they need. They need a drink to get you high. That'd sell.
Yeah.
That would sell well.
I don't remember what you said. There was some word that started with an L, but I definitely was like LSD. I just put a little bit of everything, just LSD, shrooms.
Just put it all in there.
Just
See
a
what
tiny
happens.
pinch of cocaine and just
a tiny pinch.
Just a little bit.
Sugar and spice and everything nice. That's how you make the Powerpuff Girls.
Jesus. just market it Chemical X and just there you go.
Chemical X, easy. The crossover of a century.
Oh my goodness. Things can't get much worse this year, so might as well just start throwing Chemical X at things.
You might as well. Cocaine wouldn't help you sleep. I mean, what if you mixed it with all the other stuff with that?
Oh, you'll sleep permanently with that. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, just sleep. That's the kicker. You'll sleep. You just won't wake back up.
There you go.
That also seems like a bad business strategy. You can't kill your consumers.
True. I guess.
I guess we gotta remove the cocaine from Chemical X.
Ugh.
It's fair.
So disappointing.
So, do you see yourself ever buying Blackberry Lavender Driftwell?
Absolutely not.
Same.
I just it sounds like something in there is not good for you and it's not worth it. Like just put on some like lo-fi hip hop or something and just clear your head. I don't know.
Wait. There's lo-fi hip hop?
Yeah.
Today I learned.
Really? You don't know about lo-fi hip hop?
I know about lo-fi. I didn't know it came in multiple things. But I've only had like one source of lo-fi because I wasn't super impressed with it, so I didn't really go into it more. Today I learned.
Yeah. It's definitely a very, very popular genre lately, but
it is.
Anyway. Yeah, it's just I don't trust PepsiCo with anything. And it's either like there's too much sugar in there, it has to be something. Some side effects that are not worth whatever Driftwell is gonna do for you. So
here's a better idea. Do you want to fall asleep? Drink a Pepsi first, chug it, and then grab this Driftwell and chug it back to back. See what happens.
Jesus Christ.
That's an experience. That's a YouTube video. That's what you need to do. Or a TikTok, or whatever your platform of choice is. Or you can stream it on Twitch and you can see the live reaction, the live journey you go on.
Mm-hmm.
Pick your poison.
I feel like you would just mutate, like just another hand will come out of your back and it's like, oh.
The Pepsi logo starts coming out of your skin. You're now just permanently sponsored by Pepsi.
Like bread, like right over your heart. It's just
like that would be horrified if they could do that. You can't trust them with that power. They'll abuse it every time.
Definitely.
So we have a couple of Florida topics. First up, we got Florida City. After 13 years, a South Florida city has overturned a ban on saggy pants. You know, bottoms that reveal the wearer's underwear. This was a ban. You know.
Mm-hmm.
The vote was the first reading of the appeal. It will need to be approved again before it's official, but, you know, the item was co-sponsored by 4 of the 5 commissioners.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the vice mayor, said I was never in support of it, even as a resident. I felt it disproportionately affected a certain segment of our population, which is young African-American men.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the story. They just wanted to do away with the ban on saggy pants. I think banning saggy pants was an odd thing to do in general. Frankly, anywhere that banned saggy pants.
True.
I mean, especially because it's just a mess. I think that whole thing was a mess. So getting rid of a silly ban I'm all for getting rid of a silly ban.
Absolutely. Especially one that does, in fact, disproportionately affect people of color.
Yep.
No need for it.
Agreed.
You can say whatever you want. You can have your feelings about it, but straight up banning it and making legal repercussions for something like that is just ridiculous.
Exactly. 100%. And it's like, I don't understand it. Like, it's okay to not like something. You're allowed to not like saggy pants if you don't want to like saggy pants, but banning it? Come on.
Exactly.
So silly. So I guess good on Florida City 13 years later, but shame on Florida City 13 years ago.
We can't give Florida too much praise ever.
Agreed. Florida's a fucking mess, dude. It's not like it's nudity. Exactly.
Sorry to anyone in chat who might be from Florida, but your state sucks.
Oh, we crap on Florida every week. We talk about Florida man, Florida woman. This next topic that I've labeled Florida idiots.
Ooh.
Yeah, I am about to turn on the screen share again, so we can all enjoy this together.
My favorite Floridian.
So, this actually just comes with its whole own video, which we're just gonna watch it.
Oh, God.
It's a mess. Also, shout out to the copyright claim that this is gonna acquire me as well. Oh, that actually messed up the layout again because info left. That's fucking fair. It's fair. Very fickle layout, as you can clearly see.
Yeah.
It's very fickle.
Doing it live, baby.
Doing it live. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so. That actually did not really break it on the big screen. That's good. Alright, so let's see here. Let's get this all nice and zoomed in. You know, we want to actually see it.
And of course it's in Target, because it has to be in Target.
Of course. Not super loud. Look at the kids.
Look at the kids.
Look at the bunch of morons who cannot just have common decency. It's just common decency, folks. Honestly.
It's... Oh, man. There's so much to say.
There is.
Like so much. All that I'm gonna say is, if you're not gonna do it, you're awful. But fine. This encouraging of other people to do it though, like is
wrong.
I don't understand that. I really don't. Like, even if it's just for the fact that it makes them feel better. Again, we ignoring all the facts, everything wrong with this, but if it makes someone feel better to just be out with a mask and you're just like, no, you take it off, look, like pressuring people, it's like, you're ridiculous.
100%. It's, I just don't get people sometimes, man. I really don't. Like, how is it that big of a deal to wear a mask? Like, I just don't understand. Like, wearing a mask is nothing. It's...
Yeah. It's also, it's September. Like, the debates over it are over. Like, they shouldn't have existed in the first place, but it's like, at this point, if you're still debating on it, like, no. Exactly. As a person who lives in New York City, who, if right now, might possibly have the lowest infection rate right now, people wear masks here. They do. And it's going well. So...
It's not mandatory here, but some people still do it. Yeah, I mean, I think the reality is that once it's all actually done, once the vaccine's here, everyone's been... Well, most people have been vaccinated besides those people that will not vaccinate themselves. You know, I think a lot of people will still wear masks.
Personally, I'm of that camp now, yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with wearing a mask. Like, all it does is help you and other people.
It's been a thing in Asian cultures for forever. So.
Exactly. They've done it forever. Like, do you really think they were complaining that they had to suddenly required to wear a mask? They already did. Most of them already did.
Yep.
I don't think anyone tells others to take it off if they wear it.
In typical cases, yes, but we're specifically talking about this one video where they are telling people to do it.
Yeah, this was a literal video of, okay, we have our masks, we're taking them off, we're not going to take it anymore. As if they're being, like, victimized having to wear a mask. Like, every argument I've heard against wearing a mask, like, I just can't. Cause I try and look at both sides of things. We should all wear masks for those who can't. Exactly. Like, I try and listen to both sides on every issue to try and get it from everyone's side to understand perspectives. I just cannot understand the logic behind not wearing a mask. Every counterpoint I've seen, like, yeah, there are a few respiratory issues that prevent some from wearing one, sure, but that's not most people that are talking about it. That's not 99.5%, if not more.
Small percent.
It's 0.5%, if that are actually talking about that actually do have these issues.
And in those cases, they should not even be outside and putting themselves at risk.
100%. So most people, it just comes down from a selfish point of view that they try and justify in their heads. The main counter argument is it's uncomfortable. I feel like those people that say it's uncomfortable haven't experimented a lot with masks. Like, some masks can be uncomfortable, but there are so many different kinds of masks that work that buy a few, figure out what's comfortable to you. It's like with any piece of clothing. Some shirts may not feel comfortable on you. Okay, go get a different shirt. That does feel comfortable.
And even then, it's so many. You can easily, like, try to maybe find a secluded spot where you're like, okay, I'm gonna take a breather or something. Like, if there are ways to handle it other than just, well, not gonna wear one. Like,
exactly. To put not a good example, but like my headset, for example, the last headset I had was very uncomfortable. I'd wear it for a couple hours for the podcast back in like 2018, and I'd be miserable by the end. So did I just decide I'm not going to wear headsets anymore? No. I bought a new one that was more comfortable. Because that's the logical thing to do. It gives me mask acne.
I have heard that. Have heard and seen that, actually. So it is not a reason not to wear one, but it is like a thing that happens.
Yeah. I mean, the main reason masks help so people are reminded constantly there's a virus. Don't get close to other people. I mean, if it does that, perfect. Perfect. I really wish we had handled this better, though, this year. I think a lot of people's true colors were shown this year, personally. And it's not pretty. Makes me sad.
Yep.
And especially when it continues, because it's not like it's gone away.
Yeah, exactly.
Just feels bad.
Getting bored or wanting it to end doesn't mean that it's going to.
Exactly. If you really wanted it to end, listen, here's the thing, at least in the United States, where I personally live, where you personally live, how it was handled was not the efficient way. It was pretty much, okay, we're going to have to close things down. But you know what happened the moment that talk happened? The very second, talks about reopening. No, you got to keep it closed. You got to keep it closed. You can't just be like, all right, we're going to close things down, but don't worry, we're going to immediately reopen it soon. No, that's not how it goes. It's not how it works. That's not how you were supposed to do it. And once you bring that mindset to people, then yeah, it's just bad. Speaking of different kinds of bad, the US government is probing the security protocols of Unreal Engine and Fortnite maker Epic Games, plus League of Legends creator Riot Games. Letters have been sent by the US Treasury Department to various companies linked with China conglomerate Tencent. A new report by Bloomberg, which is behind a paywall, so we're not looking at that, asks them to hand over data. Tencent owns Riot outright and holds a 40% stake in Epic. The US Department of Commerce stepped up its trade conflict with China today by announcing it would ban popular messaging and social media apps TikTok and WeChat from the Sunday, which was, last week. Lovely president claimed both collect data on US usage, which could threaten security. A deal's been in the work to transfer TikTok operations to a US company, which would see it evade this measure. Less than 48 hours from this article, that needed to be finalized. The worry for Epic, Riot, and others here in the US is pushing for the sale of Chinese interests in other US companies. Though we're a little away from that just yet. Tencent owns a stake in dozens of video games companies, including chunks of Supercell, Marvelous, Bluehole, Netmarble, Frontier, as well as 5% each of Activision, Blizzard, Ubisoft, and Paradox. So, how do you feel about that?
First of all, I've played League. It can go.
Everyone hates League that plays it. It's hilarious.
My main thoughts are just, Lord knows what information the American companies are taking from us. Like, for example, I have an Amazon Alexa. My justification is Jeff Bezos can take whatever he wants from me. He can know whatever I do in my daily life. But his machine is going to turn on and off my lights.
Yes.
It is going to do things for me in exchange for my information. And I'm okay with this. I don't see how this is can be any worse. Like,
see, I have a terrible perspective that nobody really likes. Well, I wouldn't say nobody, but that not a lot of people like on this is like, listen, they already have my data. They're going to continue to get my data no matter what. If you use Discord, they have your data.
Yep.
Just so you know that. And the proof I always had was a couple years ago, I was using Spotify a lot, and I was talking to someone that I was about to go exercise. It was the one and only time throughout my whole duration using Spotify that I got a gym advertisement. And that blew my mind. That was the direct proof that, okay, you can't trust Discord a bit. And I'm not going to quit using Discord. So they've already won. They already have it.
Right.
They literally have access to my webcam. Every time I turn the computer on, it says, oh, yep, granted access to the webcam. Yeah, they got it. They got it. They got it all. So, freely giving them data for their profit is pretty bad. I agree. But,
listen, even if you don't freely do it, they'll find a way.
Yeah, they're just going to find a different way.
I find it suspicious that all of a sudden there is a huge influx in all of these companies with these VPNs. I feel like there's something sus about it, which is why
don't trust VPNs.
I don't know anything enough about them to comment, but I do know that there's been a lot of pushing for people to get on them, and I think if everyone's on it, I don't think that makes a difference, you know?
Plus, here's my other thing to comment on what Ibakill says, that you can try to reduce the amount you give. How has it hurted me that they have my data? How am I being harmed by this? I get that's a bad perspective to have, but in what way am I being harmed by it? VPNs all started advertising at the same time. I personally think it's a scare tactic.
Exactly.
Yeah. Pretty much. Exactly. Plus, around this time, that's probably a good time to advertise VPNs anyway, so it kind of mixes with both. Good advertising time and scare tactic, kind of goes together. But, yeah, for sure.
I'm not saying I'm here sitting with my credit card info out like, here you go.
Oh yeah.
But also it's sadly, I guess, the fact that even the simplest things we do for pleasure, it's there's motive behind it. They want data, they want to make money, no matter whether the app is free or whatever the case is. In fact, apps that are free are probably more suspicious than anything else.
Yep.
It's just is that it? Do you want to enjoy things or not?
The fact that they make money off you means that the money needs to come from somewhere, right? Probably from you. Okay, if they're making money off me, I rarely spend money, so okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy things often, so if they're getting money from me without directly taking my money, okay. They can sell my data if they want. Sure. I agree with Andrew Yang that you should have the option to make money off your own data, but that ain't the world we live in. Do I think that's the world we're ever going to live in? You never know. Hard to say one way or the other. Probably not, but, you know. I'm just not going to get in sour grapes about it.
Yeah, it's one of those things in life, like, there's just so much going on if you look behind the curtain. There's just so much evil, and no one has the capacity to actively be upset about it all the time.
Like if you actually wanted to prevent your data from being tracked, like,
don't have a phone.
Don't have a phone. Honestly, like, move away from whatever city you're in. Go live out in the woods somewhere with no internet, nothing. That's your solution. That's your realistic solution. Go out in the woods where nobody fucking knows where you are. You don't talk to anybody. Then you're good. But that's not the way to live for most people. So
it's a sad reality, but it's a reality all the same.
It is. That's a very sad reality. So, been almost 4 hours now. Time has blown by.
Yeah.
How have you felt about your experience?
Well, it's definitely been interesting.
Hopefully not interested in a terrible way.
No, nothing like that. Just the topics we've had. I've been like, oh, not what I was expecting for my first podcast go, but I had a good time.
Time to become Amish. Would you agree with what I told you beforehand? Now that you've experienced it?
Yes, definitely.
Nice.
Definitely. It also lends, has kudos to you because you're very easy to talk to.
I appreciate that.
And almost immediately I was like, all right, I'm worried over nothing. Like this.
Yeah.
It's all cool here.
I do my best to be a nice person, even if I am, quote unquote, worse than Stalin in games.
Oh, if you guys missed the context for that, that is bad.
I'm a terrible person in games.
Watch the VOD and you'll understand.
Yeah, watch the VOD. Watch the VOD on Twitch, or it'll be on YouTube soon, I hope. I mean, it's under 6 hours. We started when the show went live, so it should be good to just export it. As long as it exports, it should be good to go up tonight.
Nice.
So, I appreciate everybody that stopped by. I appreciate the raid from Maroon Blade. Yes, worse than Stalin. I was playing LA Noire, and yeah, pretty much anytime they made me drove, I specifically ran down people. I specifically would just make people's lives hell. I'd just wreck other people's vehicles, all that fun. I'm a great person. I play games like Assassin's Creed, where someone talks shit, I punch them in the face, or I kill them. Simple. Don't talk shit, you won't get hit. It's simple.
The motto of life.
Motto of life. I have not killed anybody in real life. Please don't arrest me. I would not do well in jail and or prison.
Yeah. Never did that. Anyway,
I appreciate you coming on. Everybody that's here. If you've not checked out ForeverHelix, you should absolutely go check out ForeverHelix on both Twitch, Twitter, wherever.
Yes.
Gotta go find him. I know, I'm gonna tune into a future stream.
Thank you. I would love that. If I could plug a little bit, I guess right now, recently my community reached the channel point goal for a viewers choice week.
Ooh.
And we are doing voting right now. So if you go to either my Discord or my Twitter, Twitter is at ForeverHelix, same spelling. You can find links to that. If you have watched even one stream, or if you're brand new, doesn't matter. Take part in the voting if you want to weigh in on what we're gonna do. And also, I'm going to be doing a 100 follower special soon, which I might be. I mean, I probably am. I just have to figure out how to do giveaways for like gift cards and stuff. So we're gonna be doing that. So if you're interested in any of that, or just general variety gaming, come hang out.
You got this. This is a link to his Discord.
Yes. Thank you.
You can always, of course, find the links to both Twitch and Twitter right there. Keep in mind, I need to make it gender neutral because every week it swaps, it seems, and I don't correct at all. I change the guest name and I don't pay attention to the gender pronouns used. I just need to make it they, because that makes my life so much simpler.
Agreed.
Gender neutral's the way to go. For sure, in most scenarios.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I noticed that when it first popped up, and I was like, yeah, did that last week too. It be what it be. Doing it live!
Doing it live, baby.
I hope everyone had a good time. That was Back in the Shed episode 87. I will see you all next week for the podcast, or This is the Best Anyway. They is the best anyway, agreed. 100%. Or if you watch me, I'll be back on Saturday where I'll probably play Super Mario Land, Elmo's Letter Adventure, Elmo's Number Journey, and then finally play South Park: The Fractured Butthole. Yeah, we can't be assuming out here.
This is awesome.
Goodbye, everyone.
All right. Later, guys.